was like the Smash Brothers show, because that's the Nintendo knew what everyone wanted to see. They did not disappoint. Lots to unpack here, Smash Brothers wise. Basically, the big thing is Echo characters. Now, Echo characters are essentially like, I guess it's a fancy way of saying clone, right? They're a different version of some of the base characters. Now, for instance, Daisy, aka Luigi's girl, right? Is Daisy Luigi's girlfriend technically?
I think so.
Supposed to be?
I mean, until Mario's.
Right. I don't think Luigi put a ring on it.
So Mario slid into the DMs.
Right.
Mario.
So that one night they
Courtesy
had
enemy.
some box wine. And then,
Courtesy of enemy down, I figured out Mario is really a sleazeball, man.
Oh,
Dark
Mario
character.
is the sleazeball.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, so Echo characters are the big thing, but the even bigger news, they announced even more new characters. Simon Belmont from Castlevania is coming into the house. I'm
sick.
super excited about that. He's got the whip and he's got the chain whip and everything. King K. Rool from Donkey Kong, the lizard version of Bowser, as I like to call it. He's going to be in there.
Wait, isn't Bowser a lizard?
Yeah, but he's like a turtle though.
It's like a reptile turtle, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Rep turtle.
No, you're right. You're right.
So a
you're right.
Chelonian.
Okay, well, like, cool. He's like a crocodile, right? Isn't he like a crocodile? I don't know. You're right. All right, and then Chrome. I don't know much about Chrome. Chrome is another Fire Emblem character. Like, there's like 5 Fire Emblem characters in this game. Who's going to actually be an echo of Roy, who originally was an echo of Marth. So that's kind of interesting how that's going to work out. I'm assuming Roy's going to end up being his own character. And then Dark Samus, which is kind of cool, who's going to be obviously, a version of Samus. So very cool. All the characters come in the game.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Tecate with a fatty gift.
Oh, Tecate. Tecate's going ham. Oh, goodness. Oh,
Well,
Tecate in the house.
Oh, well, blessings, sir. Blessings. I think I received one of those gifts.
We have been Tecate. Tecate, man, thanks for joining the program.
Wow.
You're a monster. Like, I don't even know how I'm going to move past that, honestly. Yeah, so all the characters are in the game.
Tecate, new character, confirmed.
Tecate, new character in Smash, confirmed. But yeah, all the characters are in the game, but there is some sort of unlock processing for them. The Inklings, Ridley, those are some of the other characters are going to be in it. So loaded with characters, and I'm sure there's going to be even more secret characters they're just not telling us about, because what's the fun in releasing everything right away. So
the one thing I've liked about the Smash Brother games is their unlocking mechanism. Like, it's always felt good when you're going through the games as the story modes to unlock the characters. I've always liked that. So
yeah,
especially when it was like before the time where you could Google which characters are missing.
Right.
So it's like it was always like a surprise in a box.
Yeah, and I don't know if they're gonna do it the same way, but I remember when you would unlock a new character, it would say a challenger's approaching. You get like the silhouette, and you're like, oh snap! Like, let me wipe off my sweaty hands now.
Yeah.
Get this battle done, unlock this character. Yeah, so 103 stages. So I mean,
damn,
that's a lot of stages.
Damn.
Obviously, all the stages from Nintendo 64, Smash, Smash Brothers Melee, Smash Brothers Brawl, Smash Brothers 4, and then obviously there's gonna be some new ones. All stages, the older stages are getting reworked. So like the old Nintendo 64 stages obviously need a little tweaking in terms of balance and the speed of the characters and stuff like that. And all stages have a battlefield in Omega form, and I don't know what that means. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It sounds pretty cool though. And a change up here is that the stage selection is actually going to come before the character selection, so that's kind of cool. So when you pick the stage, you can kind of pick a character based on whatever stage that you're playing. So it's a little thing, but I mean, it's obviously you can tell they are really trying to make this esports friendly.
I was gonna say that's a competitive push right there.
Oh yeah. They are going all in on the esports now. If for those the uninitiated, Melee's really big. In the tourney scene, but Melee's, I mean, it's what, like over it's like a 10-year-old game now or something like that. So, and it wasn't built for, it wasn't built for esports. I mean, it's a great game. It's probably my favorite Smash Brothers game, but I mean, that's not what they built it for. So they're kind of like what they did with Rainbow Six Siege. They are building this game from the ground up to be an esports game, and that it's super exciting from a tournament standpoint, and from an esports standpoint. Another thing that's pretty cool, they're adding a stage morph feature. Basically, over in the course of one battle, the stage can change. So I think the way it works, you can pick like a pool of stages, and then as you start the match, the stages change during the match without even having to change the match. I think that's pretty cool. Yes. So who here played Smash for the Wii U? Didn't you guys? I did not play it. Mars,
I played the one for the Wii. I don't know if there's another one after that.
Yeah, I've only ever played the Wii one. That's the only Smash Bros. I've ever played.
I played it for the Wii U. My buddies had Wii U, so...
Okay, all right. I never played it for the Wii U. Now, on the Wii U, apparently, you could get up to 8 players in there. Can you confirm that, Train? Could you get 8 players?
We never played with 8 that I know of, but we only ever did 4. Right.
So well, this little blurb says you can get an 8-player max like Smash for Wii U, and I was like, that's insane.
That's
8 people
wild.
4 people is cray. I remember, especially when you had like items and all that stuff, and people are throwing pills and swords across the map. 8 is just absolute chaos. I honestly don't know how I would feel about that. It's gonna be, and obviously you'll be able to like tweak it, right? So you could do like the classic 4 and all that kind of stuff. So I may have to get a Switch so that I can play Smash and see what the hype is all about. Usually you should definitely do that. You should. Oh, Joker, hello. Eisenhorn,
yeah,
hello.
I'm not. I don't understand. I haven't played it enough to really be like full on with the hype. So I'm with you, Musi. We'll play together.
It is a lot of fun. It is.
Huggy, what's up? And then Eisenhorn, where you said that you said something about Omega Forum is a final destination like for each stage. Oh, okay, cool. So basically, it's like an esports version of like the stage, right? It's nice and simple and clean and no muss, no fuss. Cool. All right. So it will support all old school GameCube controllers. If you have any old ones sitting around, it will also
all the waivers.
Oh my god, greatest controller ever made.
The only thing is you will need the GameCube controller adapter, which I know Wii U came out with. So if you've got an old Wii U one laying around, you can use that. But all the old tech plugs right into that, which plugs into the Switch. So that's super awesome. Amiibo support too. I never got Amiibos. Me and my son got into Disney Infinity right at the tail end of it. So I've got a couple
Star
Amiibos.
Wars.
Yeah. We got like all the 3.0 stuff, all the Marvel stuff, but never had a chance to get an Amiibo. I do have a couple of Breath of the Wild ones because they're pretty, and they look pretty on a desk. So.
My friend has a few Amiibos, the collector ones. Like he got some cool Marios.
The Amiibo game is real, man. Like moms are elbowing each other in the throat to get that last special Amiibo. It's like. Yeah, don't even try to get some of those rare ones in stores. So.
Like Funko.
Exactly. Amiibos. Smash
the pop game
for the Amiibos.
Dude, pop game is a dark and deep and dark and scary place when you get into it.
It is.
That's not even a joke.
It can be. The depths. Yeah.
I only have one pop.
Yeah, I ran poppriceguide.com, which is like the biggest guide. It's like has over like 3 million monthly views and stuff like that. It's a giant website for pops collectors specifically, and we started to build a marketplace for it. And dude, some of those sellers are like crazy ruthless. It's like it's the funniest. It's crazy, dude. It's oh my god.
It's the new Beanie Baby.
I can't even describe it.
Yeah, my kids are really into it, man. Even my 4-year-old loves them. So yeah, they're super into it.
And it's one of those things I'm scared to take the plunge because I know if I do, I turn into a completionist. I'm gonna have to own all of them.
Don't do it.
I'll have to own all the Amiibo. So like that's why I haven't. Yeah, that's why I haven't taken that plunge yet. So
just make a wall. It looks so awesome on your streams behind you. Just
it would. And I've got a nice shelf with all my Infinity.
Yeah, but just be a bunch of little eyes staring at people like.
Yeah, that's awesome. Some people think that's cool, Mars.
Someone clip that.
I'm not
frame
kink
of Mars
shaming.
making that face.
Please don't.
All right, so some of the new mechanics in Smash Brothers Ultimate. The mechanics are they are going to lean heavily on the melee, the mechanics of Smash Brothers Melee, which I liked. Nintendo's really listening to I should say HAL Laboratories, that's who's developing it, is really listening to the audience in this. They know how much Melee is loved, the mechanics in that, the way it works. So some are coming back directly without any change. Others are going to be more streamlined to, that involve direct button presses and stuff like that. So if any of you guys haven't played Smash in the past, some of these things might not make any sense to you, but directional air dodges are coming back. I was big at dodging people. My thing was if someone would throw an item at me, I would dodge and would go right through you, and you just felt like a Jedi. Felt awesome. Charge attacks can be charged mid-air, but doing so leaves you open. Chargeable final smashes can be turned on or off. Now, I never did. I don't think Smash Brothers for the Wii. I don't think final smashes were a thing in that, right? Right? Okay, because I have a 3DS and I do have Smash for the 3DS, but I haven't played it a lot. But I do know that the final smashes in that. That's kind of a new thing for me because I didn't play a lot of that. So, so that's interesting. And let's see here. And apparently you can do like weaker versions of some of the final smash attacks if you feel like this little dodge type dealio. So lots of new mechanics. Super good. It's going to be super exciting. Last couple of things we're going to touch on here: the gameplay modes and a couple of gameplay tweaks that they revealed there. Classic mode is returning. I think classic mode was like when you like had the different stages, right? Like where you like go through the stages and like hit the like Goombas from like the Mario stage, and like you would go through like everyone's stages, right?
Oh yeah.
I think
pretty much. And then they had a couple of rounds that like you had to do like the skill things, or you had to like
those were fun.
Target.
Yeah.
That was
I actually really enjoyed those.
Classic mode that like
or hit the cute little like sandbag dude in the home run thing.
Yes.
Like, why are we hitting this guy?
Yeah.
What did he do to anybody? So,
for the power.
for the power. Some new modes here. The mode called Squad Strike. This is interesting. It's a elimination style battle where you pick a pool of 3 to 5 characters, and then you fight with them. And like I think the way it works is whenever you lose a round, then that character's out, and then you've got to switch to your new character. So it's almost kind of like traditional fighting games, one with like the tag mechanic where you pick like 2 or 3 fighters and you can kind of switch between them. It's kind of like that, kind of different. So that's cool. Tournament mode can generate brackets for up to 32 players. So that's really exciting from a tournament standpoint. You can really, like I said, they're really making a push to make this tournament and esports friendly. So that's exciting. Let's see. Smashdown mode. Characters that are picked in previous battles are unable to be picked the next round, so you have to pick a new character. So that's interesting. So they should. I would like them to institute something like that for Siege, just to give just to stress Mars out.
No,
I can't play it better.
3v3 matches, but
I did
best
great
out
with
of 3,
Zofia.
but
Okay.
use the same
Yeah.
operator.
Yeah.
That'd be nuts.
No, Mars, when you were playing, when I challenged you to play as some different operators for that, we're supposed to go for a week. I don't know if we went for a week. You, to your credit, you stepped up to said challenge, and you're doing good with that character. So, good job.
Yeah, and you didn't play all week, so.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mars up to his
But
own
to be
challenge.
fair, neither did you know. So,
I did a couple times.
okay. All right,
Alright.
moving on.
I'm gonna stay out of that one. Let y'all hash it out.
That would fail if they did in Siege. Just saying, yeah, that and Mars probably would never play again. So, probably better that they don't. So,
I'm not that linear.
All right. All right. So last here, and then training mode's coming back, and then there's tons of gameplay tweaks. They shortened the final smashes. I think they're speaking about the actual animation time shorter. Key information is easier to see, like the leading player in the match. So I'm assuming the player who's got the most
UI
KOs. Yeah, they'll flash on screen, so like you have an idea who to gun for if you want to try to come back and win the match. This is interesting. Damage is going to scale depending on how many players are in the match. So if you're playing 1v1, there's going to do more damage than if you're doing like a 4-person match or an 8-person match. That way the match doesn't go on forever because
That's nice.
Yeah. They're trying to increase the tempo there. So I think that's pretty cool. Assist trophies can be damaged and knocked out, and it adds to your kill score. So if you take out a assist trophy, that counts as a KO. So anyone not familiar, assist trophies are essentially characters that you don't play as, but if you throw an assist trophy item, they'll pop out and they'll attack, do like an attack or two on screen for you. So that's pretty cool.
Cool.
And I do believe that is all the Smash Brothers news we're talking about. So I'm going to throw that over there. That didn't go very far. It's right there. I can get it from
And it's gone.
All right, next. Rainbow Six. Girl. All right, so Operation Grim Sky. All right, that's going to be the upcoming operation. The way Siege works for the uninitiated, it's in year 3, and then it's in season 3, right? And so each season's broken up into operations. This season 3 started with Operation Parabellum. That unveiled 2 Italian operators, both for defense, and the Villa map, which is beautiful, but I hate it. So Operation Grim Sky is going to see the release of a revised Hereford base. Now, Hereford base is a UK stage. It's actually based on a real base that the SAS uses for training. So people are speculating that there's going to be some sort of rain weather effect going on there, which is kind of cool. I mean, it is the UK, right? So, but more exciting is 2 new operators are going to get revealed. 2, count them. All right. So, and this is what I really want to get into here. So, and I meant to find the image of the operators so we could actually put it up on screen, but I didn't do that. So I'm just gonna go on. So, all right. So the first operator is a defender, right? And she's a female British cop, right? So, and I thought these were both going to be female characters because I did read that they're supposed to be Brits, but it turns out only one of these characters is a British operator. She's an expert on mob behavior and snatch squad tactics. So I guess she's basically like the police's version of kind of like SWAT, essentially. And then the second operator is an attacker who's an American. I don't know if it's a male or a female. I want to say maybe some of the blurbs dropped he in there. Not sure. But his description is he's remarkably sharp, has a remarkably sharp mind when it comes to tactical optics. Now, operations, not optics. So, in the teaser image, you see these 2 operators on there, okay? And one of the operators has what looks like some sort of blowtorch, right? Because a lot of people are speculating that. Oh, hi, sweetie. My daughter just brought me cookies. I love you.
Oh man, GG, dude. Crew talk over. We're done.
Shit. Okay. Bye, guys.
I'll be right back, guys. No.
Party at Eddie's.
Yeah. So.
Powering up.
And you know what?
That's amazing.
No, we weren't serious. You can keep talking.
No, I am. I'm just.
I think he's looking for the picture.
I know. I was joking.
All right.
Did you say
God.
blowtorch? He did say blowtorch. He did.
All right. Perfect. All right. All right. Work with me, guys. All right. So as you can see in that image there, on the left, right, this is the one with the blowtorch. All right. And then the one on the right, and the one on the left, this is the attack operator here, the one with the blowtorch. Now, people are speculating that this is going to be used to be able to create custom-sized holes in reinforced walls. Okay, either like little murder holes, like little just something big enough to shoot through. Maybe a cutout type deal where you can make that window bigger, or possibly something that you can actually crawl through. Right. So that's the speculation there because they have the. Rumor has been they want to add a 3rd hard breacher. Of course, you've got Habana, and we've got Thermite. Right? So
you can zoom in, Eddie, if you want to show more detail.
Yeah, unfortunately hold on, I have an idea.
Hold control down and scroll.
I got a better idea.
Okay.
Zoom in. There we go. Thanks, Mars. All right. So yeah, so the blowtorch thing right here. And you know what? Like I wasn't at first when this is the most clear image I've actually seen of the defender on the right. And this does look like a chick. In some of the images I've seen, I wasn't sure. But I'm really interested as to what her device is supposed to be here. Now, some people have said maybe it's supposed to be some sort of shield.
She's a
right?
defense shield. Yeah, that's what I heard.
That could be. People were saying that maybe it might be used to block holes that maybe Thermite or Habana make. But the interesting thing about it are these bars that it has on here, right? So I'm almost wondering, and it almost looks like spotlights right here, sort of. So I don't know if maybe
there was also some speculation that it was a shock shield.
Okay. Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. Like almost like a combination of Bandit and
Blitz.
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering too if this is supposed to go on Windows. I feel like this is going to be the because currently there's no way to reinforce Windows, right? You can reinforce walls
unless you're Castle.
Right. But I mean,
yeah.
Who plays Castle? Castle's really? Castle. Yeah.
Besides Vile, who plays a really good Castle, by the way.
Yeah. I've actually run into some good Castle players. So, but no, it's really interesting. It almost looks like this is something that you're going to be able to peek out of. I'm guessing that maybe you'll be able to reinforce windows and kind of use these bars to shoot out, that sort of thing. So, anyway, let me switch.
Either way, it's going to be very interesting.
Yes, very interesting. I'm super excited about that. Yeah. Anyway, So, and yeah, we could sit here all day speculating about what they're gonna do. But either way, 2 new operators coming. And once again, the Hereford base, it is getting a rework. And just looking at some of the wording here, Ubisoft highlighted the word rework versus what they did to something like Clubhouse, which is a rebuff. Now, a lot of people, I haven't been playing long enough to know the huge differences between Clubhouse before and after Operation Parabellum. Playing with guys like you, I know you guys have said that they've changed it significantly, though.
Yeah, they upstairs, that room that connects the bedroom to the garage, that was never there. There used to be a big wide open area that you can actually breach into that little office room in the back. The bar itself was completely open. There was no wall that covered the pool area. There was also no stairs to go downstairs into the basement from the blue room. Those stairs were never there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heard some pretty big changes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's what I think is interesting because if that's just called a rebuff, I'm curious what a rework's going to be. I mean, I feel like it's going to be
a complete remake of the map.
Right. Which is
aesthetically, I think it's going to be new. I think they're trying to rework some of the rooms. I think they said that they were going to try and make. I don't know if they were trying to make things less breachable, because really that entire first floor is entirely breachable.
Right.
All those walls are destructible. I think they were trying to. I think they were trying to make things less easy to get around, because really in that entire map, if you have control of the stairs, you have control of that entire map.
Yeah. Sure.
So I don't know if they're trying to rework it to kind of make it more balanced or what they're trying to do, but I know they just wanted to make it more aesthetically pleasing all the way around.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's exciting. And are you kind of surprised that they're going the attacker and defender route? Just recently they did 2 defenders, so.
Nah.
I'm not.
Is that how they do it? Is that they stagger? It's like an attacker defender, then either 2 attack or defend, and then.
No.
Typically it's 1 and 1. I think the only reason they did 2 defenders is because they did 2 attackers. But typically it's 1 and 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so before they did 2 attackers before, so that's probably why they went with 2 for this opera. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't even remember Outbreak. With Outbreak, it was Finka and Lion.
Yeah,
and that was the first, and that was the first time they ever doubled up on an attacker or defender with a new.
So they're just
before that, it was Dokkaebi and Vigil, and those are.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was just to balance it out.
Okay, always 1 and 1. Yeah.
Cool, that makes sense.
I think it really threw people off. That's why.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of discomfort with that when it came out.
Yeah,
people were like, "What just happened?"
Yeah.
Right.
But I can understand why they came out with it, because I feel like they came out with 2 attackers to be able to use it for Outbreak, because you're not really using a defense operator in that mode.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah.
They wanted to stack the pool of attackers so you had more to use. That makes sense. So. Okay, so then last couple points here. Grimsky, it'll also bring some weapon modifications to correct some misalignment issues with some of the weapon sights. It didn't say which sites in particular people have been having issues with, but I know just in general, they added a new hit detection at the beginning of the season. That I think most of us have probably gotten used to for the most part, but whenever you change the system, there's always tweaks that have to be made. So, and they will release more details on this on August 17th through the 19th during the Six Major in Paris, which is the huge esports tourney that goes down for Rainbow Six Siege every year. $350,000 worth of prizes, with $150,000 going to the winning squad. So it's pretty exciting.
So when are we squatting up?
So when are we training? Is the question.
Trash squad.
As soon as I feel as good as Pengu, as soon as I feel as good as Pengu, I'll start. We'll start going.
Yeah. Whenever that happens. So, all right, cool. All right, so moving on. PUBG's getting fixed, y'all. Have you heard? Jeff, do you play PUBG at all? Did you?
I do not.
Because you went for PlayStation 4, which is not on PlayStation 4, which is kind of weird.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah.
PlayStation's a little bit more strict than Microsoft when it comes to.
Oh, really? Are we getting into that?
Well, no, they are, just because, Microsoft, because of its nature, likes to have new games on their console, so they'll overlook some bugs and stuff like that to get games up, like PUBG. Like PUBG is super buggy going onto the Xbox.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, because they started that.
So,
no, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, just because PC is so damn easy to patch and update, and Microsoft and PlayStation Network obviously have hardcore restrictions as to like bugs and stuff like that, things that need to be worked out before they put it on their system. I'm pretty sure PlayStation's a little bit more strict than Xbox is in that regard.
Oh yeah, well, and Xbox started the whole early access program too, right? To try to make it more PC-like, right? Because we get like a dozen of these on Steam every week, these early access games, but on console, it's not really a thing. Matter of fact, Fortnite releasing on PlayStation was probably like a really big deal for them because typically they don't, Although, can they change the title screen for Fortnite? Is it really in beta still? Like, really, it's been a year. Are we still? Okay. Anyway, we're not talking about Fortnite right now. We're talking about PUBG. So, anyway, so PUBG Corp, who obviously is the corporation that owns and takes care of the game. They've launched an official campaign, y'all. They want to fix PUBG. That is literally what the website's called. It's called Fix PUBG. Their aim is to make the game feel more published and complete and finished both on the consoles and on PC. So essentially, over the next 3 months, their mission is to destroy any bugs, deliver long-needed quality of life features, and take PUBG to the next level by shipping with fundamental performance improvements. So that's a lot of buzzwords there. But essentially, they know their game's trash right now, and they're trying to get it, untrashed, take it out of the dumpster, so to speak.
Well, they have some big competition.
Yeah, they do. It was interesting when PUBG dropped. It was like it wasn't the only game of its kind. Battle Royales had existed before, but it really put Battle Royales on the map, so to speak. And since then, some other games have taken that baton and run a couple laps around them since then. But yeah, so. Basically, these changes are going to take place over the next 3 months, starting right now, August. And some of the major changes, essentially, like from a technical aspect, they're going to change. They're going to have a higher tick rate for the PUBG servers, and essentially, tick rate is the easiest, the most basic way to describe it. Is how often a game server is updated with the new information, right? So with things that are happening that in game, so the higher the tick rate is, the smoother your online blind play typically is, right? And so this will fix issues with like a delay, like when you're picking up and interacting with objects, movement lag, and the so popular rubber banding. Anyone who's played PUBG knows all too well the rubber band man, the rubber band man, syndrome. So annoying. And also plans to optimize the match itself from the plane, from launch, because there's always been issues when you jump out of the plane. It's all super laggy and it's pretty bad.
Dear God, the parachuting mechanics are so awful.
The parachuting mechanics are so bad. As you're listening to people from around the world.
That is the worst part about that game.
It is. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. So, all right. And so then the next point here is they want to improve desync, aka, and this is what the website calls it, aka the bullshit moments, right? When you're those moments when you're yelling it at the screen. So basically, the problem now is that a lot of players with a lot of different pings are getting match made, right? So that's obviously causing issues. If you've got a good ping and you got someone who's got a trash ping, essentially what happens, if a shot's showing successful on your side of the game, if the attacker or if the person you're shooting has a high ping, then, essentially you're not hitting. There's a little bit of like the ghost effect, if you know anything about that. That essentially it's not matching up, right? So that's a lot of times where you would know you or hit someone, but for some reason they're behind cover, or you're behind cover and you get hit and you didn't get exposed, stuff like that. So that's something they're looking to definitely fix, obviously, aka the BS moments, which I think we've all had. When you're playing that game and you just like, how did he see me? So.
Or you're like, page. I just shot that dude 10 times in the face and you didn't hit him 10 times in the face at all.
10 times and he turned around and shot me once. What's going on?
Yeah.
So, all right. So, and more important, and I think this is the biggest thing of all the points they have here. They're going to try to cut down on the cheating now. They're talking big about this. Honestly, I want to see what you guys think, because I think at the end of the day, they just, right. They're just talking. A lot of talk. At the end of the day, we got to see if they actually back this up. So they claim that there's already been a lot of progress made. See, when you start off saying
there has been,
when you start off patting yourself on the back, though, it's not a good look. But from what I've heard, I know some people that have played a couple matches and they have said it seems to be getting better. They say the ratio of suspected cheaters has decreased by more than 80% since Q1 of this year. Once again, just throwing out some numbers, some buzzwords there. They'll continue to enforce aggressive anti-cheat initiatives. they want to have a system in place that will let you know within 15 days if you reporting a player is cheating has resulted in a ban or not. Plus, they include to update the information about the hardware of some said cheater so they can kind of keep track. I think the idea is to track these cheaters and be able to keep them from getting back in the game, right? Because a lot of times there's a lot of ways to circumvent the cheat bans and whatnot, create a new account, all that kind of stuff. So, and I think it's interesting they say they're going to work with legal authorities to see if some sort of legal action can be taken against these cheaters. I don't really know what they're going to go with.
I feel like that's pretty far.
Yeah, that's taking it.
Ban them from the game. I've been playing the game for a while. I've had it for a long time, and I remember patch point, 0 point. I don't remember exactly what it was like, but like point 3 or something like that. Like early on, it was an entire patch dedicated to anti-cheating. So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, 80% arbitrary numbers. What does that mean to me?
Yeah,
nothing. I will say though, and I don't play as often as I did when I first got it, but I'll say that it doesn't feel like I get marked down by cheaters quite as often.
Right.
One of the big things though that helps with the cheating is just introducing a ping like restriction. So like it keeps you playing with people somewhat in your region. That way that like you have a ping balance, so to speak, within players in the game. So I know that's a big initiative that they took a while ago. So that might have been one of the reasons that it helped so much. But who knows with PC cheaters, man? There's a million ways to cheat.
Yeah, for sure. And then I think last thing they said they want to fix the frame rate issues here. Basically, I guess they're saying that the average is around 60 frames per second on minimum spec rigs and 80 frames per second on recommended spec rigs. But the issue they say is the hitching, which is essentially big drops in that frame rate, which, I mean, anyone who's played PUBG knows all about that as well. And so they're saying the issue has been they've been so focused on that average frame rate that they're now going to focus on these hitches. So once again, we will see. Time will tell if these improvements are enough to kind of keep it on the map, so to speak. I mean, because if you look at Twitch games, like the ranking, it's still up there. It's still a top 5 game. But, I mean, there's just so many people playing the game at this point that I think that's why it's still up there. I don't think it's nearly as popular as maybe it was compared to something like Fortnite. So, all right, moving on. So, and Mars, I'm sure you heard about this. You're a big, or maybe you didn't because you don't speedrun. But the why can I say that?
Ocarina.
Ocarina, thank you. Wow, brain stroke. Ocarina of Time 4-hour speedrun barrier has been broken.
Really?
Yes, speedrunner ZFG111 completed the run in 3 hours, 58 minutes, and 45 seconds on August 1st.
Yeah. That's so close, though.
Yeah. And it's kind of cool because I guess the timer stops as soon as the cutscene starts. So when you strike that final blow against Ganon, that's
just waiting to hit that split. It's so I've watched speedrunners a million times, and it's just like they're sitting there with their hand on the trigger, just waiting to hit that button. It's just
Yep. Yeah. So it's been more than 5 years since the sub 5-hour run was notched. This was by a speedrunner that goes by the name of Siva. They had it at 4 hours, 57 minutes, and 36 seconds. So pretty big deal. Yeah.
That's a big jump. He was
crushing it. Yeah. That's quite the jump. So Takate, I don't know if you're still in here, but little speedrun news for you. I thought that was pretty cool.
Better start playing some Ocarina of Time, Takate. Go for another world record. Let's go. Let's go.
All right. So now we're going to jump next to fighting games a little bit. I thought this was interesting. Negan, right, from Walking Dead. Negan.
Oh,
right? I don't know if anyone's
I heard about this.
Yeah, Negan's coming to Tekken 7. As I don't know if he's as a DLC fighter or as just he's going to be in the roster.
No way.
Yeah,
no way.
It's ridiculous.
He's gotta be a spoof character,
That's ridiculous.
And you know what? If this was like,
he's gonna be OP, man.
Use him in the tournament.
If this was like end of March, I'd be like, this is an April Fool's thing. I'd be like, there's no way this is legit. But I've seen the announcement video myself. You don't now. Granted, we haven't seen any gameplay footage of him in game yet. It's simply a couple of audio clips from The Walking Dead and a silhouette of. I mean, I don't even think the artwork doesn't even look like it's done in Tekken style. So.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they did it, but I would also it'd make more sense if he was on a game like Soul Calibur, where they get to
right, because he's
got a whole bunch of different genres,
right,
something like that. But
Oh,
Tekken,
no, man.
I don't know. That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
I don't
crazy.
know. I don't even watch Walking Dead, and I'm not a huge Tekken person, but like
Mhm.
I will check this game out just out of curiosity.
Yeah, yeah,
and
I mean,
just to
that's-
see. Let me find out what it's like to hit somebody
Exactly,
with that
and
barbed wire
I
bat.
think that's exactly what they're going for. I
Yeah.
think that's what they're going for. Because I don't watch Walking Dead anymore.
Mission accomplished.
I
You
don't
suck to
watch
me.
Walking Dead, but I did, and I haven't played Tekken in a while. I was a big Tekken 3 fan back for the original PlayStation. That was my jam. So yeah, I did think that was interesting though. Just trying to bring some headlines to the game, and I think he succeeded there.
That's
Dragon
pretty
Ball
cool,
Fighters.
actually.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
I
think,
like that a lot. Like the co-licensing, the cross, like the cross,
the cross universes.
theme. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. I personally think it's pretty cool. So,
Mhm.
so Dragon Ball Fighters, and I didn't know this. It's pronounced Dragon Ball Fighters. It's not Dragon Ball Fighter Z because the Z is capitalized at the end. So, just in case you guys didn't know.
Man,
that.
curveballs.
Yeah, just.
I thought it was
changing
Fighter
all
Z.
that.
Everyone says Fighter Z. Everyone
Yeah,
calls it Fighter
Now I
Z.
want to be like Dragon Ball Fighters, like.
Three?
But they're getting cooler. Freezer's brother showing up. In addition, they're adding base Goku and base Vegeta. Now,
Base God?
does anyone here play Dragon Ball Fighters? I don't play it. Like, the game
I
looks
haven't.
amazing. It looks
There's
like
a
you're
couple
watching.
of people I think who own it, but I don't know if they played it in a while.
Right. I love watching people play because it literally looks like you're watching an episode of Dragon Ball Z. But like the nerd part of my brain is like, how is anyone beating Goku? Like, honestly, like, shouldn't Goku
Oh
just
my
win
God.
all the time? Like, that's my only problem with the game. And then they're adding base versions of characters. I'm like, why though?
Why?
I don't get it. Like God
All you
Goku
need
is going to
is-
beat everybody.
yeah,
like he should
that's
from a
it.
canonical standpoint. But anyway.
That's
OP,
so
please
funny.
nerf.
That's secretly my real
Eddie
problem
is-
with Negan also because he should just beat everybody.
Eddie's
It's
such
true.
a nerd.
Nerd alert. Nerd. All right, and then last bit of fighting news here: Street Fighter V is adding Sagat, old school OG from the Street Fighter 2 days, the Muay Thai fighter. I always like playing as Sagat,
That's
and
it.
some character I'd never heard of called President G. Don't know anything about President G. And that was August 6th, so that is now both those characters should be in Street Fighter 5. All right, so moving on here, we're gonna move on to some. I gotta get my notes right. The problem when you write on the front and back of every piece of paper. Okay, I got it.
You need to
Digital.
number them, Eddie.
Digital.
What's that?
Numbered. They
Huh?
need to be numbered.
Yeah, you know, you gave me that tip last time, but I just didn't do it this
Mhm.
time. And you know why? Because I added a last piece of news, so that's why it's not numbered. That's what we're gonna blame it on. So, all right, so Fortnite's finally coming to Android, y'all. And interesting enough, this is a very interesting. You can't get it through Google Play. You actually have to go to the Epic website to download Fortnite for your Android phone. They are saying, "Screw you, Play Store. We want it directly. You're coming to the website." And I think this is interesting because, okay, so like when a game like with Fortnite on consoles, like consoles take a significant cut of those profits, right? Like I think I don't know what it is for PlayStation, I don't know what it is for Xbox, but Apple gets a 30% cut of those sales, right? Because if you get it for an Apple device, you have to go through the App Store, right?
Mhm.
And Apple gets 30% right off the top. Boom, cash money, straight cash, homie. And it's the same with the consoles. Like I said, I don't know what that is though, so it's really interesting. And Google's all open source. They don't care, right? So I think that's half the reason that Epic's just gonna have it come directly from the website, because mostly they know that Google's not gonna challenge them on that because Google really doesn't care. That's never really their thing.
Right.
I don't know. Google might challenge him on that.
They might, because that's a
mo-
lot of
That's
money.
a lot of money.
That's a
That's a
lot of
lot
money.
of money.
That's a
It
lot
is.
of money.
Those V-Bucks sales are
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
freaking dude.
Exactly.
Astronomical.
exactly. It's like when you watch like all these drug war movies. It's like they're moving weight through your town. It's like, oh no, you can do
Yeah.
it. I want any of that. No, that always changes when you see
They want it.
how much money goes flowing through there. Everyone wants their cut. So,
Yep.
Mhm.
but yeah, so but it will be interesting because there are already a lot of fake Fortnite websites, right, that you go to, and it's like obviously it's like a scam. They're trying to take your card information, whatever.
FreeVBucks.com.
Who I think follows everybody on Instagram. If you're not followed by
Mhm.
freevbucks.com on Instagram, you're not doing it right.
Right.
Probably haven't hashtag
Step up your
Fortnite in a
game.
long time.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah. So, all right. So, and so that will segue right into some Fortnite patch 5.2 news. Fortnite's still a very popular game, so there's always a little bit to talk about every week for the most part. Orsi, I hope I'm saying that right. Hello, welcome to the stream. Welcome to Crew Talk. Hope you're doing all right tonight.
Hi.
So they are nerfing the C4. C4 is getting reduced by 1, and the explosions are quieter, which apparently was causing server issues. I think them having to essentially reverberate that explosion across everyone's game, all the servers, was causing some lag issues. That's kind of a weird thing. I never heard of that, but whatever. They're adding a double-barrel shotgun. Why do they keep adding shotguns to this game? Like, seriously.
Because they nerfed all the shotguns before, and everyone was playing the shotgun meta, so now they have to make a new shotgun to go back to shotgun meta.
Yeah, because they got rid of the double pump meta, so now they're like, here, sorry.
Yeah, now we're just going to give you double barrel meta.
Yeah,
Let's
so,
do it.
So apparently it's only supposed to be effective at point blank range and does 150 damage in legendary form, so essentially the one-shots are back. They added, I watched my son play a little bit of this mode today because he wanted Fortnite for his birthday on the Xbox, I like to add. So, being the good father, I let that happen. So he was playing a little bit of the Steady Storm mode today. But it's pretty cool, though. Like, the match starts, like, the storm's always on the map, and it shrinks down continuously. It does 10 damage if you get stuck in the storm. So it's a little bit of a change of tempo, change of pace there. That is kind of cool. And finally, we are like a year and a half into this game, and you can finally view your challenges in the menu itself in the game. That's the biggest complaint people have. Is like, I want to know what challenges I'm doing, but you've got to, if you don't remember to look between matches, then you're out of luck because you can't look when you're in an actual match. So push pause, go to challenges. You'll be able to see your challenges, and some of the challenges will actually appear on your map. So they fixed the crouch peeking issue that would allow you to shoot people while crouched and not get hit, which I guess annoyed a lot of people. And they are increasing the vending machine spawn rate, and it will have a reduced material cost, seeing how they nerfed the materials number a while back. I don't know. Can't remember.
Do you think it's in correlation to that, or is it an attempt to make it less RNG-y?
I think a little bit of both, probably.
Yeah, because like Realm Royale is doing really, really well right now, and they have like it has a little bit less of an RNG feel because you can go up to like the little forges. You can like go to a forge and create armor and create weapons. And I know that's a lot of people are liking that on Realm Royale because it does give it like less of, as long as I get my first kill type of thing, I can get my points, then I can go and start building my armor or anything that I'm missing. I can start filling in those gaps, so that feels kind of nice.
Yeah. So that's and it's real interesting, right? Because they're so used to being on top, but they're obviously smart enough to look behind them and kind of see what the upcomers are doing and all that kind of stuff. Trying to keep the game fresh, trying to keep it on top, so to speak. So, Hugh, I can't help but I read your message in the exhibit. Like, I hear exhibit in my yo dog. We hear you like shotguns, so we nerfed your shotguns. So we got another shotgun, so you can shotgun while you jump while you shotgun. So,
oh man,
truer words have never been spoken.
Never been spoken.
Right.
Bunny hop shotguns. Woo.
All right, last bit of big gaming news here. I actually added this today.
Thank you, RC for hanging out.
I added this last minute today because just someone requested this, and I was like, we should definitely talk about this. Red Dead Redemption 2, y'all.
Oh man.
If you guys haven't seen that 6-minute trailer, I would highly urge you after this, because we don't want you to watch it right now because you're watching us. After to check that trailer out.
We got priorities.
It is absolutely amazing. I'm super looking forward to this game. Red Dead Redemption, the first one, was one of my all-time favorite games on any system. I actually own it on Xbox as well. And so this is kind of like a prequel in a sense because it takes place before the events of the first Red Dead Redemption. You actually play as Morgan, who is part of the Dutch Vanderlyn gang, which is the same gang that James Marsden, who you played as in the first Red Dead Redemption, he was a part of that gang. And of course, he left, to try to, change his ways, become a good guy, sort of thing. There's a lot of stuff in that trailer, a lot to unpack in that trailer. Melee combat is going to be a big part of the gameplay. Morgan's an enforcer for the gang, so beating up people without killing them is actually, what his thing is. So in the video, there's some punches, there's some kicks. He was you saw him chase down a guy and tackle him from behind and roll him over and just start feeding him bricks. It was actually pretty awesome. And the interface actually seems to be dynamic depending on what's happening, right? So, in one scene that you could see the controls, you could either choke, dismiss, or beat while in the middle of a fight. You can greet and antagonize NPCs in conversation, because he's an enforcer type. Or you could diffuse a situation or antagonize different lawmen walking around. You can do call-outs while you're on horseback, all sorts of different stuff. So it seems really dynamic, and it flows and changes depending on the situation you're in. Which is, and it's a small thing, but I think it's pretty cool. You can fire your gun in the air to threaten people or to like stop a fight or something like that. It seems like it's in your hands whether you choose to escalate or de-escalate any situation. So I think it's cool. I think they're trying to really introduce, a middle ground there. So, because, everyone thinks of Rockstar, they think of, running people over in GTA and just killing people left and right. And you can do that in this game, obviously, if that's the way you want to play. But, if you want to kind of take that more middle route, it seems like that's something they're trying to offer, which is, I think, is cool. So,
awesome.
Horses, some of the most realistic horse animations I think I've seen in a video game. They've obviously spent their time on this. There's different horse breeds in the game that are suited for different tasks. Like you got like a workhorses and race horses. And the way the inventory seems to work, you don't have an unlimited inventory. You've got what you carry on your person, but then like the horse saddlebags kind of functions as like your extended inventory. So like anything that you've got, all your stuff kind of, uses your saddlebag, so I think it's kind of cool. And then you can form a bond with your horse by feeding it and grooming it and calming when it's nervous. So then it'll perform better in combat. It'll perform better when you're riding on the horse. I think that's pretty cool. So. All right, and then last here, I think they said, oh no, it's not last. I got a couple more things. The weapons may work differently. Like in the first Red Dead and GTA, it's like a weapon wheel, right? Like you've got like 18 guns. You're carrying everything, right? Which is cool because, if you want a certain gun, you always have it. But in this, I think they're going a little bit more realistic. It seems like they're taking the Max Payne 3 approach. In Max Payne 3, you could hold 3 guns. You could hold 2 one-handed guns and like a long rifle, right? And if you wanted to dual wield, you had to put the long gun down. And it seems like, looking at the gameplay of this, that this functions a similar way. It just seems to be like whatever he has on his persons are the only weapons he has, which I think is cool. I think it kind of gets old when you've got every weapon at your disposal. I enjoyed games like Halo where you've got to kind of have like the inventory management of like, okay, what game do I want to keep? What game do I want to drop? Or gun do I want to drop? That sort of thing. They are adding the bow and arrow, which is pretty cool, as well as a new hunting mechanic that lets you track animals when they're wounded, stuff like that. Oh, yeah, dude. There's going to be... I can already tell it's going to be a game I'm never going to finish the main story because there's so much side shit to do. Like, this is not going to happen. This is not going to happen.
That was Dragon Age for me, dude.
It's going to be that backlog.
The final Dragon Age, there's so much to do.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be on the backlog, and it's going to stay there.
Forever.
And last couple of points here, the gang, because you're a functioning part of this gang, and the cool thing about the gang is that base camp is like where your home is, but since you're being chased by the police, like every so while the camp gets up and it moves to another location. You interact with the other members of the gang. Your relationships with them and how they view you kind of change some of the story aspects of the game. And there's all sorts of tasks and stuff that have to be done within the camp, like gathering food and supplies, all that sort of stuff. And you could choose to participate in that and, kind of become one of the game, or you can kind of be like, nah, that's beneath me, which I think is kind of cool as you have like a dynamic with your gang. And then you can do some fishing and play some poker as well. I'm sure if you lose a match, you can get up and just shoot somebody, which is probably sounds about right for the Wild Wild West. And, so then at the end of that trailer, though, if you pause right at that campfire scene and enhance, you will see a young James Marsden along with his wife Abigail and their son Jack sitting at that campfire. Cool little Easter egg there. So that's the end of that. And then last but not least, we're just wrapping up here with a couple of games that came out. Monster Hunter World's out for PC. I know a couple of people in the crew are playing that. I know Vile's been playing a lot of that. Crowley's been playing a lot of that.
Speaking of, we got to get a voice chat. We got to get a voice channel open for Monster World.
We do. That's a game that's only going to get more popular as well.
Yeah.
I had Monster Hunter for the DS, for I think the 3DS. I played the beta on console. I was so overwhelmed. I was like, I don't know.
Dude, I could not stand the beta. That was the same way. I went on the beta and it was just way too much. And then I started playing with some people that are like OG from the beginning, and they showed me the ways. And then we got hooked, and hundreds of hours into that game on console.
That's awesome. Nice. That's how sometimes like you get into a game and you're like, God, this is terrible. Like my buddy bought me a game. It's called Will to Live online, and it's a grindy game. And I started playing it for I got like 10 hours in maybe. And I was like, this game is like god awful. I do not want to keep playing this game. And then he came on and was like, hold on, let me get 2 of my OG friends in here and let's go do some stuff. And I'll show you how to do this and like how to stack up materials and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. And then once he showed me, I was like, dude, this game is sick.
That's exactly how it was. And then Lil Splice got hooked on it, and that was actually the game that forced me to buy another console so we could play together because we were so addicted to it, and we had one system. So
nice.
Can't happen.
Very nice.
How,
no, man, not in my house.
That's how father-son relationship. That's how father-son relationships go south real quick. Consoles and the same addiction.
Dad. We're going to GameStop, son. Get in the car.
That's great. I love it.
Get in, bitches. We're going shopping.
We're going shopping.
Oh my god.
Shopping. Also released late last week, I think. We Happy Few. I don't know if any of you guys know anything about this game. I've actually been looking for this. Game's actually been in beta for a couple of years, I guess. If you get a chance, check out the trailer for it. It's got a weird vibe to it. It's kind of got like a BioShock sort of. I don't know. It's like an RPG,
but like super cartoony looking.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Basically, it takes place in an alternate world where we lose World War II to the Nazis. So it takes place in the UK. And it's kind of like this fascist, kind of like weird, but like on the surface, everyone's cheery and happy. But like under, there's like some real subversive, messed up stuff going on. And it's killing the reviews. A lot of people are talking about it. There have been some issues. People are saying like some parts of it, some of the gameplay is clunky, but from a story aspect and an RPG, it's getting a lot of talk. So that's out as well. And I don't think I said, but the release date for Red Dead Redemption 2 is October 26th. For Xbox and PlayStation 4, meaning it probably won't come out on PC till like next year. Let's be real. It always takes a minute for that to happen because that's probably the console I'll get it on. So, and then last bit here, Doom Eternal. They are making this a sequel to Doom, which I think is pretty cool. And I just want to touch on one thing about this. They added a feature called Invasions where you can go into other single-player campaigns as a demon and hunt them down. And not just one of you. You can like party up with a group of people, and you take the place of demons, and you go and like hunt them down. So
that's the trolliest thing I've ever heard in my
life.
Yeah,
it's super trolly. It's like taking like what like you can do in Dark Souls to like the next level, like basically.
Twitch crew community invasions.
Right. Hi, how's your game going? We're here to murder you.
500 demons controlled by players. Let's go.
How was your day? Because it's about to get bad. But yeah, so that's all I got. That's gaming news. Thanks, guys. Threw my last.
I was waiting for the paper toss.
I did. I threw it. It was like
that was so subtle.
It was really subtle. Much more.
Damn.
It was super subtle.
I wasn't ready.
It was a soft toss.
It was just a flick. You just kind of.
It was just kind of like
just fluttered away.
Oh,
it wasn't even that dramatic. Here we go. Ready?
Take it back.
Oh, it came back to my hand. What is that?
Oh,
there we go.
There we go. You can't just mulligan the paper.
It like helicoptered back right behind me. So, all right. Anyway, so I'm done now. Now we're gonna move on to Mars. Hi, Mars. Hello.
Hi. Hi. We're going to talk about chat moderation and the different tools that chat moderation can give you. Oh, Trey, what are you doing?
It is real Brady Bunch style.
I have to
It's funny because like on my screen, he's to the left of me. So I'm just like...
I apologize.
Do you want some cookie, Mars? Here. Do you want some?
I apologize, guys. I've got to go. Just go like talk to my daughter real quick.
That's okay.
You're fine, man.
It's okay. He just doesn't want to hear me talk. It's fine.
I mean, I gotta go for a second too. So
3 out of 3 tap out. Okay.
Okay. Bye, guys. Thank you for coming to Crew Talk. I appreciate all of you.
It is now.
Please
Mars.
don't. I don't need to be responsible for any broken screens.
Oh, whatever.
All
right, go ahead.
Chat moderation. What do you guys look for in a moderator? This is an open question.
IRL mod or
like a moderator in your chat. Whether you
like
know them or not.
In life or what?
Like we were about to get really existential here.
No, I meant like a person or a bot because I thought.
No, like a person. Like who? What do you look for when you choose a mod?
Just someone that hangs out, honestly. I don't have a dedicated. I don't really have like
So
a dedicated
active?
actual bot. Yeah, someone that's active. I mean, that's my criteria. Is someone that's active, someone that has like a good personality that I know is gonna be able to like know the difference between someone trolling and someone like having fun. You know.
Okay, so Baggy says someone that he trusts. What about you, Eddie?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of what Train said and what Baggy said. Someone I trust, but honestly, someone who's gonna be there, who I knew is gonna be there to hang out in the stream, and do a couple things. I mean, I'm a small level streamer, so
don't label yourself.
The occasional troll that comes through maybe, or if I need someone to shout out a couple commands for me or whatever, for if I want to maybe post a link like Disaster Industries Clothing or something like that. But yeah, for the most part, I don't really have a guidelines or whatever. It's like, Musie's my mod because she was like the first person to offer for the most part. So I was like, yeah, you can be mod, and I think Baggy is technically, when he comes to my stream. But yeah. So it's I really don't have a criteria for it. What about you, Jeff?
My criteria for mods?
Yeah, like what do you look for in a moderator?
I don't know. I have like a different perspective on it just because I guess my channel is a little bit different. I typically get a lot of toxicity, so I look for more like somebody that's gonna come in and just literally just kick people out. Like I have pretty much a no troll policy. So if somebody comes in, I have a hugs command, and I will make a comment about how they're being too negative and we need to bring positivity in their life. And we all spam the hug command. And then if they say one more thing, we just kick them out. Yeah. So that's like the biggest thing for me. Other than that, I mean, I'm pretty loose with it. I mean, I'm watching the chat nonstop anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
So
also true. So Karasaka goes, fun but no limits is always present when needed, but not spreading themselves too thin. And Luchimite goes, someone that's there all of the time, one that is quick to catch things, that doesn't zone out watching you, someone that talks with everyone and is active, someone I feel that you trust with the responsibility. So yeah, so most people when they look for someone in a mod sense, they look for someone who's again active in their chat, going to be dedicated to spending their time mostly in your chat when you're streaming. Someone who's mature, like Jeff said, is going to drop that ban hammer or time them out when needed. And then also just someone who knows the limits, knows like what the hard nose is for your channel, and basically just goes by what your rules are. So a lot of people don't know really when to choose a moderator. I think every single channel, when you start, you should try and at least have one person that you trust in your chat that could be a mod. You don't necessarily have to have a million moderators.
I got a million. I'm on that. I got like 10.
He's on that level.
But that's just because I don't have someone that's in my channel. Nobody is in my channel as soon as I'm on and is there for the 4 hours and is there hanging out the whole time. So I took the approach of like, I need someone, as long as I have a mod in the channel at all times, if someone's coming in and trolling, I can be like, hey, is there a mod out there that's in the channel hanging out or hears me or has the volume on? Can you ban this one? Like, can you ban this guy or whatever it is? Which actually I haven't had to deal with yet. I haven't had to ban anyone, so that's...
Okay, so that's actually a good transition into my next question is, when should you look to add more mods? A lot of big time streamers were actually questioned about this, and a lot of them said that they try to add more mods when one mod feels like that's not enough. The one mod they feel is being stretched too thin to the point where they need to stop their own stream to assist their mod. And if their chat starts moving so quickly that they can't keep up with it themselves. If you can't keep up with your own chat, you're going to need a mod just to be able to keep up with the chat with you. And again, if it gets too much for the two of you, then usually you just keep adding more and more as you go along. Obviously, this is more of a question as for when you start growing. But definitely something to keep in mind. I know a lot of people will either use AutoMod, or they'll have a couple of mods in their channel, or they'll use a couple of bots to help mod their chat. It's all really a personal preference. But again, a lot of these big time streamers, a lot of streamers in general always suggest having at least one mod or at least one person that you can trust. Even if they're not in their channel, if you just like text them and be like, yo, can you come in real quick, and they like pop in for you. Again, it really just feels like how you want to establish your channel. How do I feel about AutoMod? So we're getting to AutoMod and how to use it effectively instead of getting annoyed at it. as we all have seen in this chat, particularly, you guys have been saying a couple of things here and there that will get auto-modded, whether it's the word pimp or butt or what have you. A couple of these words just get auto-modded and we don't really understand why. So another tip that I saw in a video from somebody was you could turn auto-mod on. Auto-mod has a bunch of different settings. They have a bunch of different sensitivities. And what you can do is you could just go into chat, type a bunch of words that you would find as offensive to somebody. And then once it gets auto-modded, just keep adding the word into the library. Or if you go into your moderation settings on your channel, there's actually a way to add keywords that you're okay with. And there's also a way to add words that you're not okay with. So if you don't want someone coming into your chat and obviously spamming something racist, you can put all of the racist connotations that you could possibly think of, and auto-mod will pick up on it. Or if you're okay with someone using a couple of different curse words here and there, then you can also add that to the positive side, because then you don't have to worry about auto-mod just timing everybody out, because we all know that sometimes can get a little annoying. How do you guys think, how do you guys go about auto-mod? Do you guys use auto-mod? Do you guys use bots? Do you guys use really anything? Or do you just you're super laid back like I am and just kind of go for it?
Go ahead, Spicy. You were about to jump in on that.
Yeah, no, I have a bot, and I learned real quick that I did not want the auto-mod on there at all. And partially because the way that I do things, where it's all about debates and discussion, and I didn't really want the bot or, auto-modding and just knocking stuff out. And there's no way for me to really control put all the green light words in there that I would need to be able to debate with my viewers the way that I do. So I turned it off, and I rely on my mods, and I rely on, obviously, me, I guess, just because I'm watching chat the entire time. But yeah, it's, I think it is a good tool, and I think there's a lot of things you can do, especially if you are, you don't have a mod in there and you're focusing on the game and you don't want chat going crazy. But I personally, I just turned it off because it was annoying me too much.
I think I don't know. I use it on the lowest possible setting. And I've whitelisted and blacklisted a couple of words. I think it's one of those tools that is it's like anything else. It's super effective and can be super, can be amazing if you have the time and want to spend the time going through and whitelisting words and blacklisting words and doing all the settings yourself. But I'm someone that, one of the issues I always have with auto-mod is caps, all caps and symbols. And I'm I turn those all the way off, because I go into other people's chats and I'm a million exclamation points and everything all caps. All of the time. All of the time.
You were the first person to ever do that in my chat, and I was like, whoa, dude.
And that's why mine's off, because, when we raid people, we like to spam emotes and all that kind of stuff. I think I like that in my chat. I liked a bunch of emotes.
Absolutely.
And a bunch of chaos, so to speak.
Okay.
So, that's why I ended up turning mine off, because, every time someone would come in and do that, it would, smack them across the face and be like, nah. And I'm I'm sorry, you can go in and you try, and I turned it off, and it's been off since, like you guys, I have certain keywords, as you would put it, listed. But other than that, I don't have any auto-mod turned on, so.
Yeah, I've actually been banned from Robin's chat because he said, let's hit some emotes in the chat. I put a bunch of emotes and then got banned from his chat.
I remember that. The first time I was in his chat, that happened.
It was the first time I ever jumped into his chat. He just said, let's drop a bunch of emotes. And I'm like, I got this, because I have all of your guys.
I got you, Robin.
I got banned.
Enter banned.
Nothing but emotes.
It's banned. Nothing but emotes. Yeah, and it's just oh, okay. So, sometimes, silly. That was a bot. That wasn't even the auto mod. So, again, you really have to be mindful of what kind of moderation tools you are using and how to use them as effectively as you possibly can, but also being aware of the tools that are behind them to make sure that they don't completely crap on everybody. I'm not going to so much talk about the bot side of things, just because Muse really touched on the bots last week, or the week before, but I know she touched upon the bots, so check out the bots. But I'm going to go more over the moderation tools that they have actually on Twitch that you can use. Let me just pull up my thing here. So there is
snap. We got a 24-hour break. We got a 24-hour break from Slot. I'm going to drop that in there.
Oh,
welcome. I am not a Slot. Thank you for taking the time to jump into Crew Talk. We appreciate you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hi, Slot.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She's in the middle of that 24-hour, right?
Yeah, her 24-hour stream. So
going on right now.
Yeah.
Nice.
So There is a way that you can use email verification. So you can choose to require your viewers to have a verified email address before they're able to participate in your chat. That's a good thing to have, just because there are a lot of people that will make spoof accounts on Twitch where they can't really verify their email because it's either a fake email or it's just really an account that people use for trolling. So if you do ever want to set up an email verification, at least you know the person is actually, even if they are a troll, at least they put a little bit more effort into their account. So that definitely helps. Again, auto mod, where you can automatically apply the rules for moderating your chat, and you can set the levels from 0 to 4 and adjust that setting at any time, or you can create this custom settings that work for your specific needs. Then there's also the word filters, where you can limit or allow the type of words or phrases that are used in the chat. Again, your moderators. So your moderators are basically the sword to AutoMod's shields. This role, which you can assign to anybody really in your chat, you can assign it, you can take it away at any time, anywhere. You don't have to be live, you don't have to be not live, it's just really at any time. And what moderators can do is they can ban people and they can time people out in your channel. So the timeout function can will quote like ban them for a set time frame, and the ban just is like an automatic ban. They can't really chat in your channel anymore. But this is a good way. Those people, again, people that are active, people that you trust, that will keep your channel safe and friendly as you grow. And usually your moderators hopefully are more on the viewer side than on the streamer side, because sometimes your moderators are streaming at the same time as you, and that's fine. But always be mindful of trying to have a backup if you can, because they're also going to be seen as a higher tier in your chat. Again, the timeouts of the bans, these commands will allow you to temporarily or permanently mute people in your channel. And then there's a bunch of different modes that you can actually use in your chat. So there is sub-only mode that you can turn on, where your chat can only be typed into if they are a subscriber to your channel. This can be positive if you want to use it for sub-only giveaways, so that you don't have people that are not subs entering into your giveaways, depending on which giveaway tool you are using. And sometimes the bigger streamers will use this just because they're having a sub-related stream, or if they have like a sub Sunday where all the subs can play with them or what have you. Then you also have a follower only mode, where only people that follow you can enter your chat. This was highly actually, what's the word I'm looking for? Not favored, unfavorable, highly unfavorable by the bigger streamers to the smaller streamers, because as the smaller streamers, you're trying to grow your channel. A lot of people come in and just say hi, and a lot of people sometimes get turned off when you just want them in a follower only mode, because they might be thinking that you just want them for the follows, which obviously, again, numbers aren't really the biggest thing, but you still want to grow your channel. So I would recommend not using follower only mode if you're looking to use it as a way to get follows, because they can easily unfollow you afterwards. And I know I popped into a couple of streams where it was follower only mode, and I was just like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I left. So, because I just didn't see the point. Then I have to control F this real quick. There is an R9K mode.
F for specs in the chat.
All the Fs, apparently. I missed something. So the R9K mode is actually a bot that's I think in a beta for Twitch. But apparently it's a special filter designed to disallow repeated messages. So instead of, you could put this mode on again at any time, and honestly, it really just prevents you from spamming the same thing over and over again, whether it's a racist phrase or just a silly phrase or anything kind of trolly. It kind of just prevents that in general.
This one I totally get, and it totally gets me all the time, because I put haha and then I'll follow it up with another haha, just to really emphasize how funny that was.
Yeah, it is.
Then
there's another mode for emote only mode, where I guess if you honestly just don't want people chatting, they can just spam emotes. So I'm not entirely sure why anybody would use this mode, unless you're trying to like make a point to your chat, like, stop being rowdy. Now you can only use emotes, but people could be rowdy with emotes. So I'm not really sure of the purpose of this mode, but it is just a mode where you can only talk in emotes. Oh God, Hugh. Then
play charade games with emotes.
There is also slow mode that you can use for your chat. So slow mode is will disallow basically the users from sending messages within 2 minutes of each other by default. You can edit the slow mode duration to be longer or shorter than, really just adjust it to your liking. Or it just basically just slows down your chat so people can't talk fast. It's like some people, they find it helpful because it helps them keep up with chat a bit more. But then you also have to be mindful of a little bit of the delay in the messaging and what your gameplay is or what you're talking about. But basically, it's just a public notification will show people that it is in slow mode. I think partnered broadcasters can also enable this option using their partnership tab, which will allow their subscribers freedom to slow mode. So if you're in a big streamer's chat and you see that it's in slow mode, but you're not really being slowed down, they probably turned it off just specifically for their subs. Then again, there's also blocks and reporting. So if someone is harassing you or breaking the rules or just making you super uncomfortable or being racist or anything that you deem is extremely inappropriate in your chat, that is against the terms of services or your community guidelines, you can block them and you can report them.
Get them out of here.
Blocking someone will allow them to stop messaging you and prevent you from seeing their messages. It'll also prevent them from being able to whisper you, which I don't know a lot of people that really use it in Twitch, but there are a few that will, just whisper if they want to have a private conversation. Reporting someone will actually create a report that is reviewed by Twitch. I don't even know the word again. Workers, employees, Twitch people. Reviewed by Twitch. Like what?
Staff, Twitch staff. I think is the word you're looking for.
Staff. Twitch staff will actually review the report. Thank you, Muse. But no, if someone is being a nuisance to you and just breaking your terms of service, you could feel free to block them at any time. Again, that's also why your moderators are there. There is also another function that you can use that clears the chat completely. It's /clear. So if you see anything that is racist, anything that is harassive, anything that is sexually harassive, just you deem it as inappropriate, but you can't be quick enough to ban them or you can't be quick enough to mod them or what have you, and you don't want your chat to see that kind of behavior, you could just quickly clear it and then go back to ban them.
So what was the
So it's /clear.
Okay.
I'm gonna post a link to both of the websites that I'm actually looking at right now that I'm getting this information from, so that you guys can review it on your own time. I'm just going very quickly through all of these things, but it's /clear. If I was to do that right now, it'll actually clear the entire chat. None of you would be able to see anything. It's not like, so basically, like if you when you first jump into a channel and the chat is blank, that's what you would see if I cleared everything right now.
Damn.
Biddy drops right now. Biddy drops right now. We got a little bit of a war going on.
Thank you for all the bots.
Thank you for the love, guys. Thank you for the love, guys.
The bot bits, all the bot bits.
We probably.
Oh, speaking of hug time.
So there are a lot of also again moderation bots that are developed by third parties. None of the bots are actually affiliated by Twitch. So again, if you wanted to figure out any of the functions of them, you'd have to look them up on their own side and not by Twitch. There are bots that allow all caps, or are bots that will allow all the exclamation points that you feel are necessary. So this is another thing. The user report, which is also, again, we would use to report them. Twitch is pretty committed to fighting against any kind of harassment of any kind, anything that is sexually harassive, emotionally harassive, just people really just not being nice people. Again, you can file this report. It will actually, there's a web, you can actually like Google search Twitch, how to file a user report. It'll show you exactly how to file it and what will happen afterwards. And if you feel, it says, if someone is violating the terms and services via whispers and you wish to report them, you can actually see how to file a whisper report. I can, again, post all of these links for you guys. But yeah, so there's a bunch of functions on Twitch that actually help you moderate your channel. Keep it a safe thing. Again, it really does boil down to you and what you want to allow in your community. I think your open communication with your mods is also especially important. So don't just mod someone and then never talk to them again. Like tell them what you expect in your channel, what you want in your channel, what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. Tell them the level of moderation that you expect from them. Because if you just want a moderator that's just going to sit there and be active just to get a troll here and there, that's fine. If you want to have a moderator that's there will allow trolls, but will only cut it off at a certain hard no level, that's also fine. But again, that open communication with your mods is going to be able to create the environment that you want. Communication is really key with everything when it comes to your channel, because you also have to realize that this is your brand. Your moderators aren't only supporting your community, but they're supporting you, and they're also a vision of you and what you will and will not allow. So what are your guys' view on all of this? Like, do you think you'll add mods? Do you think you'll reconsider some of your mods? Like, what do you guys think about all of these tools that are readily available to you?
Me personally, I think where I'm at, I'm okay with the amount of mods I have. I technically have 2. I probably only really need 1. In my head, I guess it's like if I get to and it's not always about numbers, right? Because you're gonna have 50 people in your stream,
of course.
no one's talking to you. What the hell you need a mod for, right? So, but I mean, if it gets to a point where like my chat is so regular that I feel like the mod that I usually have in there can't keep up with the chat, then maybe I would bring one on. But I mean, for me, I think it's feel based. You know what I mean? Where I'm at right now in my streaming career, I guess I would say that. I feel like I have that perfect number. So,
okay.
But yeah.
What about you guys?
I'm in reevaluate mode actually currently. Like I got some mods that I know that I will always keep as mods, just because honestly, that the badge to me is more of like I mean, it's more of an appreciation thing for me to be like, look, these are people that I have been in my chat, have been in my channel, and do show like understand who, like, my brand or whatever, like understand my personality and what I would want and not want in chat. But I've definitely been loose with the /mod and tag and giving it to people. So I mean, I'm not super serious about it. So I'm not like someone that's like, oh, I care that I have 5 swords in my chat right now. Like that doesn't matter to me. But I also do understand the weight that 99.99999% of streamers give it, and that there's value to the like that sort of power.
Yeah, absolutely.
So another big thing, aside from your channel completely, is moderators in your Discord. Sometimes people will have moderators in their Discord that aren't necessarily moderators in their channel, because let's be real, there are some people that are just super active in Discord and not on Twitch, and vice versa. But it's also sometimes good to have a moderator in your channel, in your server on Discord, that knows how to use Discord. So it's not so much a moderator that's going to moderate your chat. It's more so moderating the mechanics of how your Discord works.
Right.
Some people just really don't know the functions. They don't know how to set up the roles. They don't know how to set up new channels, and that's completely fine. But that's also okay to have a mod that's specifically dedicated to doing those sorts of tasks for you.
Right.
So yeah, again, I will post all of these links for you guys in the resources tab, because I think these are good resources to have for really any kind of stream, whether it's a talking stream, whether it's a creative stream, whether it's, you're gaming, what have you. But that's a wonderful
battle.
Name.
The Biddy Battle that's going on.
Not even the Bit Battle. Big Fat Gummy Bear. Like, that's a great name. Also, thank you, Hi, and thank you for coming to our stream. But yeah, I'm going to post these links for you guys so you guys can review them on your own time. If you guys have any questions about mod tools, feel free to reach out to really any of us. Really anyone in Twitch Crew has a mod of their own in some regard. So just feel like we have the stream support channel. Feel free to drop some questions in there. Everyone's really available to answer those things. Sure. So, and there are more people. I know I'm not well versed in the bot verse. I know you guys said you guys don't use bots, so the bot verse. So yeah, so this stream support channel would be great to use for other people that might actually know how to use a bot. So, but yeah, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. But I'll definitely drop those links. And really, that's all that I have for chat moderation and safety.
Awesome.
Safety first.
Wait, I got this.
Big Fat Gummy Bear, to answer your question, what do you guys stream? Oh, very nice, very nice. Kobe. What do you guys stream separately than this, and who owns or likes hosts this show? So we are all part of Twitch Crew. All right, everyone you see here, this is a Twitch Crew production, so to speak. Look at the logo. We all stream different things. My man Splice Haven, he's a bit of an IRL streamer. He's got a bunch of snicks. He does like a little something we like to call Rant City. Very charismatic dude. Oh God, what happened? Why'd you leave?
We lost one.
Mars is gone.
You started. Oh,
she's back now. Train over
I
here.
don't know what happened.
Siege. A couple different
Hi.
games. What's the game you're playing right now? Train the
tabletop.
Siege.
Tabletop
there's
one?
I do it. I'm trying to
Tabletop
do
one.
a couple days a week. I do a tabletop game that's unreleased on Tabletopia called Othin. Siege is my main game. I'll do Drunker Watch every once in a while with
Drunker Watch.
Drumshaw and
If you guys haven't watched
and
Drunker Watch, it's
Mana Vault.
stuff.
Yeah, so we a lot of different variety games, but all PC for me.
Yeah.
Big Fat Gummy Bear. We actually do have a lot of people that are also on console. We have a couple of people who are on
Oh yeah, man.
Xbox, and we have a
tons.
lot of people who are on PS4, and a couple of people who play the Switch.
Mobile. I mean, we got
We
got
mobile players. We got
cover
everything.
we cover all bases, guys.
got-
We have some people that don't even play games. So
So
like,
true.
don't be afraid. Yeah, like Slice here likes to have his rant cities. So don't be turned off by the fact that you don't have a PC. Like I didn't have a PC for the longest time. So here I am. You could be here too.
Yeah. Welcome.
But-
But yeah, so lots of
One of
different
us.
categories of streamers, not streamers, just playing video game players, just playing supporters. So yeah, beautiful thing about our group. So okay, so next we've got our video for our feature member of the week, who was
Let's
New York
go.
Gamer.
The New
So
York
let's go
Gamer
ahead and,
YT.
What?
Who's the
YT?
Is he still in here? I ain't seen him in a minute.
YT.
He was in
What's
here
up, Mr.
earlier. I don't know if he's back, but he was in here earlier. We're still
He was
dropping
in
the
here.
video. We can't wait
Drop
for
that
him.
video.
We're
Let's
doing-
go.
Shh,
Drop that.
do it.
Yes. Let's go. Oh, I did a backflip? What? Yeah, you... Oh my gosh, no. Okay. No! No.
To find batteries. You know what? I'm fine with this. I'm completely stuck.
All right, and once again, that was the New York Gamer YT. Awesome kid, funny guy, fun
Dude.
to hang out with. Pretty much play a little bit of anything. He has quite a few
Absolutely.
games. So,
Absolutely.
once again, congrats. I hope you had a good week in NY. And
Oh, what's up, New York Gamer? Hi.
Riveting,
There he is.
riveting
There he
stuff.
is.
Hey, buddy.
hi, buddy. How you doing? How you doing?
I like
Hopefully
it.
you saw your. He did. Awesome.
He did. All the clips. All the clips.
All the
Thank you,
clips.
Slot, for making those videos. You're amazing.
Yes, thank you,
Yes,
Slot.
thank you, Slot.
Thank you for taking the time and effort to do that. We appreciate you.
Absolutely.
And so without
Mhm.
further ado, Mr. Splice Haven, let's get it, boy. Let's go.
I-
Hello, Gare YT, for coming to our stream tonight. How you doing? Please proceed. Sorry.
Oh. All right. Well,
Messing up timing.
okay. I missed it. No, I missed it. It's cool. Thank you for covering.
I'm awful. I know.
Nah, you're good.
You're a monster.
We're all monsters in our own way. It's no big deal.
This is
But yeah, the lovely people over at Twitch Crew, the higher ups at Twitch Crew asked me to come talk about balancing life, real life, stream life, all the lives. So I'm gonna start out. I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about me and just kind of what I actually do on a regular basis and why I feel like I'm even qualified to talk about this in the first place. I do own Disaster Industries right here, so that is my business. I run that on a regular, all day, every day, 24/7, constantly doing that. I also am part owner of Peachtree Reptiles. Eddie did talk about the snakes. I do breed snakes. So I do that. That takes up a lot of time. We do sponsorships. Disaster Industries I'm doing sponsorships. It's kind of a new thing. I'm still kind of learning. It's still kind of in its infant stages. That takes up quite a bit of my time, just communicating with everybody, making sure everybody's good and happy. I also run print, ship, deliver all of the Twitch crew merchandise. I've been trying to help out kind of behind the scenes with that and get that up and running for everybody. So, you know, that takes up not as much time now. We kind of got a lot of it. We're always working. We're always lurking in the background working on that stuff. And then obviously in addition to that, I do have my family. I'm married. I got 2 kids. My son plays football. My daughter dances. You know, we're running around all the time. So, and then at the very end of all that, I also stream. So, you know, I do have a lot of stuff to balance. My hand is in a lot of cookie jars, just like Eddie's tonight with his cookies. So,
that was a little foreshadowing. That was a little foreshadowing.
Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff going on. So that's kind of why everybody kind of felt I'd be a good person to talk about this. So I'm going to go into just kind of the different things that I take into account as I do it. Obviously, I want everybody to chime in and let me know what you guys think because everybody's a little bit different. But the way that I look at it is everybody kind of streams for a different reason. Some people, it's a financial thing, you know, and not necessarily like when you say financial, you automatically assume somebody's trying to like make a living, but some people are just trying to supplement their income a little bit. And they look at it as like another job as, you know, and it's so if you have a financial obligation, then that creates it's on a different, you know, area on your priority list. There's hardcore gamers, you know, people that are playing games all the time and they're like, well, I'm gaming 24/7. I might as well just turn on a camera. You know, that's one way to do it. People that are doing promotion. When I started doing this, my sole purpose was to promote my clothing line. I'm not even going to lie. And then I just got really into it and it was just something that I started doing. Some people are just trying to get creativity out. Some people are just trying to do it for fun. And then some people have other goals. And the way that I look at it is your personal reason for streaming is kind of going to determine where your priorities are with your life. You know, one of the examples I have is, you know, you have a stream scheduled for, I don't know, let's just say 8 o'clock that night. And then your son comes up and he's like, hey man, I want to watch a movie. Like I want to hang out tonight. So, you know, everybody's going to have a different priority. Like obviously, you know, most people will be like, well, you got to put your family first. But if you're using your stream to make money to put food on the table for him, then daddy's got to go to work. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit different for everybody. And after you figure that out, that's when you can start figuring out where you're scheduling and how you want to balance everything, because you got to figure out where streaming fits into the rest of your life first before you can start balancing anything. Mm-hmm. So, you know, there's a big difference between streaming for income and just streaming for fun. So every time you're looking at it, you got to think about it. You know, how important is this really, this particular stream today? I look at it as a day-to-day basis. I don't really, you know, try to schedule things too much. I try to just basically wake up in the morning and look at everything else I have planned and decide, can I stream tonight? And, you know, and I got to make sure it fits in with the rest of what I got going on. So after you feel all that out and you figure all that out, then you can figure out how high it is on the list, and then you can figure out how to schedule it and understand how you want to actually make your schedule work. And then you got to figure out your flexibility, goals, your IRL goals versus your goals with Twitch. This is a big thing for a lot of people. And there is kind of like a gray area, I guess, or like where it overlaps a little bit. Because some people, their real life goal is to do this full time. And that is a real thing for people. A lot of them, there's probably a lot of people in here that want to do this full time. I mean, I see 3 people nodding their heads right now that are in here with me that are like, hell yeah, man, that's good.
I certainly wouldn't, you know, discredit the fact that if streaming eventually got to a financial point where the income was worth it, right? Like, I don't think anybody would. If we're all if we're all streamers in here and we're all doing it for fun, even if you're doing it for fun, if the financial benefits of it, all of a sudden we're like, oh snap, I can pay all my bills and eat food just from streaming. Like I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't be able to and easily make that transition to like, yep, I'm doing this full time.
Yep.
Right. It's, you know,
absolutely.
It is definitely one of those things where it's like, you know, if the opportunity presents itself, and that's just life in general. That's not even streaming. That's, you know, I never thought I was going to be doing a clothing line or doing half the stuff that I do on a regular basis, but the opportunity presented itself and I jumped on it.
Right.
So, I mean, it kind of goes along with all of that. but you're going to have real life goals that have nothing to do with streaming, and that's really everybody individually has to figure out what's more important, which goals are going to be more important. Right. So another big thing that I've noticed, and I've had people kind of talk to me about, is getting pushed away or having other people push them away or bailing on real life commitments because of their streams. And that kind of goes back to how important is it for you? If somebody literally starts it out and they're like, I'm going to be partnered in 6 months, bam, bam, like they're streaming 7 days a week and they don't care who they leave behind. That's just the reality of it. And I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen with multiple people, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you got to figure out if that's, are you really willing to do that too? And if that all kind of comes into the balance, it's like, if that's all you want to do, I've always kind of lived my life by the motto of like completing a goal, but stepping on people to get there, or leaving people behind to get there. Like, that's not success in my mind. So you got to figure out how to balance that out, because like, I'm partnered, but I shit on all my real life friends, like that's me.
I'm having a difficulty with this one, actually. Is this like, there's a lot of life commitments that I have going on and things that come up, friends events and stuff like that I'm like, I only streamed 2 days this week, and my weekend is supposed to be my stream time. But because all my friends are doing their things on the weekends, like, does that mean I cut out the last, the only time that I have to stream to go and hang out with my real friends? Or do I bail on, for example, this weekend, a bachelor party, and being hungover all day today because I went to my buddy's bachelor party and I didn't stream today. So I'm like, I'm not getting on stream if I'm like a piece of crap. So, it's like, and I knew that was going to come, and I knew it was going to come with the event. And I was like, there's no way for me. The priority list is different than a lot of people are going to have it. My priority list is always going to be, IRL friends over my stream every single day.
Right.
So it's just that it's an easy decision sometimes, but I am at the point where I'm like, dang, I want to spend more time streaming, but that means that I'm going to have to sacrifice some of those events and some of those things.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see. What did Gare says? Well, I stopped playing with a lot of friends because they could be a little toxic while playing games, so I would rather just stream. And if it means
that's a good point too.
Hey, absolutely. Yep. I honestly, I don't. The friends that I used to game with, I don't play games with any of them anymore. And not necessarily because they got toxic, but they're all chasing dreams that involve streaming, and they don't have room for me to be playing with them. So, that's just what it is. Yeah. And it's tough. It's a tough thing, and that brings me to my next point, which is sacrifice. It's all about how much you are willing to sacrifice. And we're talking about sacrificing just friends, or sacrificing game time, or sacrificing stream time, but you got to think about, if you have a family too, like I basically have to sit down with my wife on Sunday and be like, these are the days that I'm going to try to stream. And she's, so I got to be upfront with her about it. And honestly, it's all scheduled around football and all the other things we have going on, because I don't want them to have to sacrifice too much because I'm sitting here talking to you guys. You know what I mean? So I want to make sure that they understand, and we all kind of plan for that. So there's definitely a way to do it all, but you have to make sure that everybody's that's close with you, they all need to be on board too. I think that's really important, that the people that are close in your life understand what your goals are and how serious you are about those goals. So that when you say,
and ask a question real quick, actually, with the family.
Go ahead.
And to Splice, because I don't have to deal with this. I'm not going to have to deal with this. Streaming is something that, because I'm single and I don't have any kids, it's going to be in my life. And if I, Lord willing, meet somebody, you know what I'm saying, that is special to my heart, they're going to have to understand that streaming is a part of my life. I want to know how you guys address the question, because I know you guys didn't get into streaming until after you had children. Like,
absolutely.
How did that conversation go? Because it's something, again, I'm not going to have that conversation, but it's definitely something that I'm curious about.
Yeah. Well, I know for me, it's like, I've worked a lot of different jobs in my life. You know what I mean? I was on one track when I came out of university, university. Who calls it university? I was on one track when I came out of school. You know what I mean? And then I met my wife. We had our first daughter, and like my track in life changed. You know what I mean? So I've whatever helped me put bread on the table, I was willing to do that. I worked a lot of jobs I didn't like. I've worked some jobs I liked. I've been laid off. I've been through a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? So for me, it was a conversation I was having with my wife. She's like, well, what do you want to do? What would your dream job be? You know what I mean? And I was like, streaming. You know what I mean? Like doing some sort of podcasting or essentially getting paid to play video games would be the life for me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And to her credit, she's like, well, let's do it. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
You know, so having that support, is, you know, whether you're married and you have kids or you've got any sort of serious relationship, having that backing in that aspect is super key, you know. You know, even if other aspects of your life, things might not be so, you know, hunky-dory or whatever, as long as you have that commitment, you understand that this is what, you know, you do, you know, that's the biggest thing to it, you know. And so for me, you know, like, a lot of times, that's why I stream at 9, you know, because I spend if I'm not working or doing what I have to do to put food on the table, I'm spending time with my family, you know. But everyone knows when 9 o'clock comes around, Dad's got to go in the basement to get his stream on, you know. I mean, everyone from my wife all the way down to my youngest kid knows that, you know. And, you know, and my son goes around telling everyone that his dad plays video games for a living. And I wish he would pump the brakes on that a little bit. But, you know, at the end of the day, they understand. And, you know, and we make it work. So, you know, at least from my standpoint, I know Spicy will it's probably similar but different as well, you know, because everyone's situation is unique. So.
Yeah,
mine's completely opposite.
Yes,
mine is completely opposite, man. I started doing this, and my wife literally was like, "What is wrong with you?"
Right.
Like those exact words. She was like, "I know that you're a psycho, but like, what exactly are you doing?" She didn't understand it, and like, not only did she not understand Twitch and the streaming, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't understand Twitch and the streaming. I just learned how to do it. I hadn't even heard of it, and then I finally watched somebody do it. I was like, I can do that, and just decided to do it. And I don't know anything about it still, and I still don't really fully understand the psychology about watching somebody else play instead of playing and cheering. I do it because I love you guys. You know what I mean? Like, I come out to support you guys and what you guys are doing, not because I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to watch somebody play games tonight. You know, it's just a different thing for me.
For sure.
So my wife had that same mentality where she was like, what the hell is wrong with you? And, you know, I originally tried to argue. I was like, listen, I'm going to be playing games anyway. Why does it matter if I turn the camera on while I'm playing the games? And then maybe make a little side change doing it at a certain point. Like, why is it an issue? And for some reason, she just couldn't grasp it. And it wasn't until I changed my channel up and stopped doing games all the time. And then she, for the very first time, tuned into a stream because she saw that my setup was different and that I wasn't playing games. And she got curious and she's like, well, what is it doing? And she watched it, and then she talked to me, and she was like, "Okay, now that I understand."
And that's awesome.
like, go do you, because because I'm trying to do like something a little bit different, motivation, positivity, and the rant cities, obviously get thrown in there. But when she saw that, like, people were talking to me, and they were like, "Oh my God, dude, like, this is so awesome, and you're helping me so much." That's when she finally was like, "Hit it, dude, get it, like, do your thing." Yeah. So it took a while, man. It was hard, and my son, on the other hand, he's just like, dude, can you play Fortnite so I can tell my friends to watch? That's all and I was like, dude, your friends would hear more 4-letter words in 5 minutes than they've heard in their entire life. So, like, keep your elementary school friends off that channel, please. Your teacher's going to be calling. So, but anyway, I know there were a couple other questions that were asked. I'm sorry. I have a habit for ranting, obviously. But Gary YT asked, do you guys here prefer solo streaming with just you in chat or playing with other streamers? I think I probably answered that question with everything I just said, so I'll let somebody else go on that.
We touched on
no, go ahead, Trey. No, please go. No.
I was gonna say I know we touched on this a little bit last week when I was on for the first time. But like personally for me, when I'm on stream, sometimes it gets a little bit hard for me to concentrate to chat and like develop my own thoughts when I have other people doing game chatter in my headphones. So the way I love playing with people. That's not the thing. I love playing in groups with people. But when I'm on stream, I have to be really conscious.
Conscientious.
Conscientious.
That word.
I have to be very conscious of the fact that I I don't engage with chat more when I'm in a 5-stack on Siege.
Yep.
And so I'm very selective of when I'm playing in a group on stream versus like anytime I'm off stream, hit me up for a game, hit me up to play. I'm super down. If I'm streaming, I'm less likely to jump into a game with a bunch of people just because of that fact.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I'm kind of the same way. I kind of take it on a case by case basis. You know what I mean? Like and we kind of touched on this in previous streams. Like, you know, like if I'm playing, and I don't stream a lot of Siege, but I've started playing a lot of Dead by Daylight recently. And so in a game like that, I will have a push to mute button, right? Because if you're trying to survive with your friends and you're trying to coordinate generators and all this kind of stuff, you don't want to have an instance of like, what? Or you talking? You're like, who are you talking to, sort of thing, because it's distracting for your squad mates for one, and it's distracting you because, you know, you're trying to manage your stream and coordinate whatever game you're trying to play. You know what I mean? So
Hey, Eddie.
Yes.
Can you turn your gain up a little bit on your microphone? People are having a little trouble hearing you.
Yeah,
Or pull your mic closer to
Or
you.
just make out. Just get out and get it close.
Or just eat my microphone. Is that better now
Do
that I'm
it.
close? Because
Do it.
I talk loud. It can't possibly be my gain. But if I
So you're fine on my end, but they're saying you're a little quiet.
Yeah, you're totally good on my end too.
Okay, all right.
Just want
Becky, is that better? Is that better? Now that I'm like eating it. Here, hold on.
Dun, dun, dun,
That
dun.
it's like literally in my face like this. Is that better?
ASMR stream.
I do have some cookie left. I can really just.
Oh God, please no.
Cookies. I need cookies.
But what was I talking about? Yeah, so it's kind of a
It's a
case by
little
case
better.
basis. Some days I'm like, I want to play a solo player game, or I want to play this game by myself because I want to be able to focus on my stream, because I don't feel like I have the attention span to be able to like, be a good squad mate and address chat. So that's kind of how I approach it.
Yeah. Am I
Mars.
answering this now too?
I mean, you don't have to.
No,
like,
I
you know.
can. I think it also depends really on the type of game that you're playing. I think if I like playing Siege on stream. I like playing a bunch of squad-based games on stream, but I'm the same way with Train. Is when I'm playing that squad-based game, I tend to focus more on my squad than my chat. So I would like to be able to focus more on my chat than my squad. And for some reason, it's just on my end. I have a couple of games that just don't want to use the push to mute button. So I sometimes have to jump back and forth, and it gets very distracting on my end. So then I'm not 100% for my chat. Or on the flip side of that, like if I am gonna play with a squad, I prefer a squad that's also not streaming, so that they're okay with me not being able to mute myself.
Mhm.
Or I don't feel like I'm stepping on their toes with me talking or muting myself back and forth. I think it's a lot easier to be able to play with a squad that's not streaming on top of me, just so that they're not that they're so much stepping on my toes, but more so that I'm not stepping on theirs.
Right. And
just so I can focus a lot easier on both that way, instead of worrying about like talking to my stream while they're talking to their stream, or like I'm super laid back with people not muting themselves, so it doesn't bother me. But it's just a personal preference. And obviously, if I'm playing a story game, like that's going to be a solo thing. And sometimes I just want to play a game solo. So it really just depends on the day and what you are okay with, and what's going to bug you and what's not going to bug you, and what you really want to focus on.
Right. Good. Lord Vile says, okay, so I have to say antisocial. Oh, sorry, am I not supposed to read this?
No,
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I thought you guys were like, whoa, dude, can you shut up, please?
No, go right ahead.
I really was not my old self because of all the crap going on, so I said, hey, I play games. I should share the experience with others. So I talked to Snuggles. For those of you that don't know, Snuggles is Vile's wife, and she even bought me a new desk and helped me get started. She felt this would help me in the long run. So I kind of want to touch on that a little bit, because that kind of hit me just when I read it. Just because it kind of comes back to when I started, I was saying everybody's got their different reasons, right? So for him, he has a completely different reason for streaming than like any of us probably do. Like I like that's a totally different reason for wanting to do this than I've heard from most people. So he's gonna obviously have a different he's gonna have a different priority for it. it's going to be probably a higher priority for him than some other people. And I think I just think that that's a really cool thing that he recognized it and found a way to kind of deal with it. And that his wife jumped in and was like, let's get you all the things to get you set up to do that.
I think having a good support in anything that you do is obviously going to help, especially with streaming. Like, not like my IRL friends have no idea why I do this. My parents have no idea why I do this. I started doing this because you guys told me that I should. Like the minute I got a PC, they're like, okay, when's Mars streaming? Like when is she gonna start? When is she gonna start? So like I tried it once and then I fell in love with it because you guys gave me that support. So it was like, again, like everyone really has a different reason for doing it, but at the end of the day, it really just comes down to like who's supporting you in pushing you forward. Because you can push yourself forward, and like you said, you can have that drive. Like that person you mentioned that said that they were going to be partnered in 6 months, had that drive, and then shut out everybody else on the way. Whereas you could still have that goal, but have all of that support behind you as well. So I think it really just depends on, what your goals is, and again, like what Train said, what you're willing to sacrifice to get there.
Absolutely.
And again, I think your reasoning and your support base is huge parts of also reaching your goal. Yep. So
100%. 100%.
That's my 2 cents.
No,
Gary White, you made a great point here. I just want to address this one as well. I put it in chat, but just in case someone's not watching chat and they're just listening, he's asking about if you play with followers in groups on VCs, like do you allow that VC to go through to stream? He's worried about someone dropping racist or like anything that wouldn't fly in chat necessarily. Sure. And I just want to say it out loud, like you got to be okay with kicks and bans. If it's not going to fly in your stream, it shouldn't be able to fly in your personal Discord or your VC. Right. And you got to be, like I said, you got to be okay with those kicks and bans. If someone's jumping into your VC and starts dropping anything that wouldn't fly in your chat, like be okay with being like, get out of my VC. Like you got to be okay with being a tough, hard ass sometimes and being like, you got to get the F out. I don't want you in my channel. If that's who you're going to be, if you're going to be toxic in VC, but you can mask it, you can filter yourself in a chat. Honestly, I'm more of an integrity person. If you're cool in chat and then you get into my VC and start dropping stuff, I'm going to be the type of person to be like, nope, I don't need you in my channel. I don't need you in
absolutely
just because I know where it's coming. I'm an integrity person. So
it breeds toxicity, toxicity.
Yep. You also can't be afraid to tell people no. Like if you have to question whether or not it's a good idea, it's probably not. Yep. So just stick with your guns and say, like, I'm sorry, I'm going to focus on the game right now. Maybe another time when, if you pop into chat a bit more and I get to know you, there's nothing wrong with that, with, not wanting to game with someone that you just met.
Right.
Because again, you really do run that high risk of whether or not they are going to be cool in your chat or they're not going to be cool in your chat. It really depends, again, what your personal preference is, but don't be afraid to tell people no that you're uncomfortable with it. Yep. And if they pressure you because you're uncomfortable,
that's key right there. Exactly. Yep, that's.
I mean, you can also scope them out. Do like play games with them off stream.
Yep.
And get to know them. Do your research.
That was Baggy's point.
If they also stream, maybe watch some of their VODs, see maybe what you're getting into, see.
Yep.
Where they go when they get really tilted. You know what I mean? If this person gets really tilted and just starts dropping N-bombs up tonight, you're like, maybe, not someone you want to play the games with and or have in your community at all. Because, I mean, like Mars said before, at the end of the day, you're responsible for your content. This is your brand. You know what I mean? And you have to ask yourself, is that something you want to be associated with at the end of the day? Because, they're not going to be the ones that suffer for it. Your stream and your content that you put out is. So, I mean, you've got to look at it that way. Are they worth the hassle, the trouble, or the label that my stream could end up getting? So
right. And kind of going what on like Train said about integrity. Anybody can come in and be respectful for a short amount of time if they want to play games with you. I don't care how you talk normally. Anybody should be able to come in and shut it down for a little bit. I mean, I feel like I've even done pretty good just tonight compared to normal. So, I mean, it's anybody should be able to do that. So it is a respect thing and an integrity thing. I think I kind of covered most of it, I guess, just to kind of sum it all up. Everybody's going to have a different way of balancing it out. Because everybody is going to have their priority list is going to look different depending on why they're doing what they're doing. And so, you know, that's the way that I balance it. You know, streaming for me is bottom of the list for me. I still manage to pop off a stream 3 or 4 days a week. But you know, I obviously have a lot of stuff going on. So, but there's nothing wrong with somebody streaming being their top priority, even if they have a family. You know, there's definitely situations for all of it. So, hopefully that gave you guys a little bit of insight into all that stuff.
Absolutely.
And,
I think priorities is the biggest thing I take away. Just stick to your priorities. Make sure you check in with your own morals, your own personality, and
yep, you'll know. I mean, if you got to ask, like, man, should I really bail on this situation so I can stream tonight? Then you probably should. You know what I mean? Like, if you got to ask yourself that question, then you're probably bailing on something that's more important. So,
and I think another thing to remember too is, much like when it comes to your actual streaming and whatnot, don't compare your priorities to someone else's. Like,
absolutely,
me and Jeff both have families at home, but as you heard, our priorities and the way we handle it are completely different, right? You know, it's unique to you, so don't try to be like, oh, well, so and so is streaming 5 days a week, so I should probably stream 5 days a week. Like, no, don't look at it that way, because what they're doing and their reasons and their priorities are going to be completely different from what yours are. So,
and your situations are completely different.
Absolutely.
Like, we just same thing in the same conversation. Eddie had support from day one. From the get, it was like, what do you want to do? Oh, I want to stream. Cool, let's figure it all out.
Right.
Whereas Splice had to go through and do it and be like, no, I do love doing this. He had to find his niche in it. And then once he found his niche, his partner was like, oh, okay, now the streaming lines up with your personality. It lines up with your priorities. Now I can support you because it makes sense to me. So don't ever compare your situation either, because you have no clue what's going on that the other side of the camera. You know,
and honestly, it's more fun now. You know, and not just because of the support, but like you said, it was, you know, it was like I was trying to fit myself in a box that didn't fit in, and that was exactly why she wasn't supporting me in the first place. She's like, this doesn't make any sense. Why would you do this? So, everybody's got their own thing, man. So don't you don't need permission though. Like, you don't need permission to chase after what you really want. Set your goals and go for them and explain what you're wanting to do, and you know, the people that love and care about you are going to support your goals.
That's another good thing too, is don't be afraid to also just tell the people that are following you that you're not streaming today.
I do it all the time.
Like Train says, I haven't streamed in 2 weeks because I've been taking care of myself. Like, I'd rather be 100% for you guys than, you know, than force myself to stream and not be okay. So it's like, and another thing is, like, if you have an important life event that you want to go to, like Train says, like, he prioritizes IRL all the time. You know, like your IRL stuff is not always going to be there. You know, Siege isn't going anywhere. Overwatch isn't going anywhere. You know, hopefully your followers aren't going anywhere, but no offense, like, the people who really truly support you are going to come back regardless of if you streamed in a day or in 2 weeks. So, you know, don't be afraid to just tell your chat, like, guys, I'm not streaming today because I need a little me time, or I'm not streaming today because I want to go see that movie that's coming out. Don't be afraid to do that. You know, again, anyone who really supports you is going to support you regardless. So just do you. And as long as you can, you know, go to bed at night and be happy with yourself and your choices, and you can come back the next day and kill it, keep doing you. Just do it.
So confident in your choices, man. Just make
them. They did, you know, and I took 3.5, 4 week break. And I told everybody, I was like, I got some stuff I got to handle. I got to get some stuff together, and I'll be back when I'm back. And everybody came, and everybody was there when I came back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's everything that Marja said is absolutely correct. The people that want to be there are going to be there regardless.
Awesome.
And they were messaging me like, hey, man, just checking on you, make sure everything's good, you know? So
relationships are everything.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Cool.
I'm done.
So much, Splice.
Anyone have anything else to add, or
unless anybody's got any questions or whatever?
I think we should drop in just a quick couple minutes just to let, if anyone's got a question that we've missed. That's a big thing. I wasn't paying attention to chat for a lot of that time there. I wasn't either. Messages, but like, if anyone wants to ask Splice anything specific, like,
whether it's merch related or
business
related,
anything.
And if you go down below our video, there is a link to our merch on his website. So
look at that.
Check it out. # not sponsored, but
hey, I'm jealous. I'm not sponsored.
NorVM, welcome
merch
to
is-
the chat, by the way. Sorry you said hey there, so welcome.
Yeah, so
Oh, there you go.
those two links that he did actually post in there, Baggy. The one that says for the merch is actually the Twitch crew merch. The chaos stuff, the BeDisastrous.com is actually Disaster Industries website. Again, super comfy stuff. You should totally check it out.
When are jerseys coming out? Jono wants to know when jerseys coming out. I assure you, Jono, that I am working like 7.5 hours out of every single day with different suppliers for jerseys. Okay, I'm working on it.
They're coming. New York
Twitch
Gamer
crew
got
booty
auto-modded
shorts.
for Twitch Crew booty shorts, but I just
Okay.
don't allow it because I need some Twitch Crew booty shorts in my life. So.
Okay,
If you don't
I-
iron those booty
I
shorts,
got you. Okay,
everyone's
I'm gonna.
leaving.
You know what? Let me go ahead and just talk about the booty shorts for a second.
Here
Oh
we go.
god, here we go.
Like, I know everybody thought this was a joke.
Rant City, Rant City.
Okay, everybody thought the booty shorts were like a joke. Okay, everybody was, like, oh yeah, booty shorts, booty shorts. That whole little exchange, that was real. Like, we are really trying to talk about booty shorts. Okay, here's the problem with the booty shorts. I can't print my printer cannot do the booty the way that we have to do the booty to make sure that it looks good when it's on your booty. Okay, so
Fists on either
I'm
side.
working on it. I'm
T
trying
and
to.
then a C?
No, they wanted crew like all the way across the booty, and like
okay.
it just my printer just.
I don't know.
didn't-
Double fist would be pretty cool. Just saying.
Dude, see, no, it didn't like. I could only do like big booty shorts, not like they wouldn't fit the. It's hard to
So
explain.
everyone, you really
Dane's
need
a
to
little guy.
what?
Dane's a little guy.
To get that big booty. Just saying.
Yeah, so listen, get the kid a Happy Meal.
So I'm
Let's
waiting for my
get
shorts
it.
then. Okay.
Okay, so I've worked on prototypes. I am trying to get booty shorts. Okay, I will.
Train is so happy
Love
right
it.
now. Look at
This is the
I will
greatest
get the
thing
booty
ever.
shorts.
This is the greatest. I love the screw talk. I'm done.
And I will get,
I have
and
to
I
put
will
them while I'm on
get, and I
top.
will get tank tops. I know everybody wants tank tops.
Straight
So Tatya
tank
actually had a
tops and
question
booty
for you,
shorts in the
Jeff,
airport
about the
confirmed?
sponsorships.
Tatya's talking about the sponsorships. Okay, so everybody, all right. I will go into sponsorships a little bit. Right this very second, I'm gonna go ahead and say that I've got it's still a work in progress. I'm still trying to kind of figure it all out. Trying to see how it's gonna work. And at the end of the day, like, no offense to anybody that's currently sponsored by me that may be in this room or listening or watching or whatever. It is a business at the end of the day, and I have to make sure that it's actually going to be lucrative for me. Like, I could start throwing free merchandise to everybody and not get any sales from it, and then I just invested money in merchandise for nothing.
Mhm.
So as of right now, I'm pretty locked down with the sponsors that I have. But trust me, I'm lurking in streams. I'm watching streams. I'm always checking out people and, looking for who the next big thing at Disaster Industries may be. But I got to make sure that it's all going to work out for the people I have, because when you come into Disaster Industries, you are part of my family, and you can ask anybody that actually is sponsored by my company. They text me on a regular basis. We talk all the time. Not just about sponsorship shit, but like life stuff. And I'm really close with all of them, and that I make that very clear. So I don't want to spread myself too thin either. But it is out there. We're working on it.
DI takeover, yes.
Oh yeah, no, we're taking over. Like we in this.
Empires.
Empires. Yeah, we're trying to build empires. No one wants to see the booty shorts. I'm wearing booty shorts right now.
Same.
now.
Sticking to the chair as we speak.
Yep.
So talking about empires, I think it's Train's turn to talk about.
Our empire. Let's do
Yes,
this,
thank you.
guys.
Yes,
Let's go.
segue.
Yes.
I'm gonna jump into this.
Segue.
Perfect segue. That was the cleanest segue we've ever had.
Clean.
Guys, a little bit of a turn from last week. I'm not doing the whole heavy, heartfelt, esoteric talk
Esoteric, yes.
talk this week. We're doing community news because it needs to be addressed. I think the mods as a whole team, the mods had a call, and we talked for quite a while about essentially how we've kind of stumbled upon this amazing thing that we have. Baggy created an amazing community. He developed this sort of culture that we have, the very supportive nature of our community. But to create that is one thing. To have it grow in less than 7 months, less than 6 months, or 6 months to 7 months, we're coming up on the seventh month mark, I think. To go from 0 to nearly 600 members in that amount of time and keep the zero toxicity. I think Baggy's really proud of the fact that we have 7 total bans in the history of Twitch Crew, because we don't draw those kinds of people. We don't draw toxic people, and we don't allow it to exist. We've been honestly pretty lucky to grow that fast, that quickly, and that massively. So we all got on board.
Just 5 months.
Yep.
Oh, we just hit 5 months. Oh, we just hit 5 months. Okay, see, there we go. So I'm trying to.
It feels so much longer than that.
It does feel so much longer than that. It feels like an old established community, and it's not.
That's because we're family, dude.
Exactly.
Because of the family.
So we hit this point though where we do need to have some structure. We do need to have some sort of guidelines and rules, and I don't want to say it like it's a bad thing, like it's gonna come like we're all of a sudden we're gonna have like red tape everywhere and you can't say this in chat. We're not gonna do that type of stuff. We're having too much fun letting it be this sort of Yeah, no. Exactly. I mean, honestly.
Not like that anyway.
No, we're not gonna be like that. I wouldn't let it happen. I would crack down on the I'd mod crack down on the mods.
I think it was just that voice that was a little
So I'm just gonna go through quickly like general stuff that we kind of came up with. Very big stuff. The other thing too is that we need to get more community members involved in everything that we do in terms of idea generation, in terms of the decisions that we're making. We want to be able to be more open.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to start with this page that we're streaming from right now, the Twitch Crew community page. We agree that we have this amazing opportunity here to showcase our 500 members and do these really cool things such as game nights and such as these crew talks. So one of the things that we're going to be working on coming up is leveraging the community page to showcase our members. And we want to do it in the light of that we're all gamers, but we all do a lot of stuff outside of gaming. So I think Musi, your admin extraordinaire Musi, is going to be taking the lead on sort of scheduling and stuff like that in terms of who we're going to get on the community page and a lot of stream through the community page for creative stuff and whatever you're doing at home. We know that we have members that cook and do graphic design and do cosplay and do all sorts of different types of streams. So we want to be able to highlight those types of streams outside of just the gaming realm that we all sort of lock ourselves into and are in because of the nature of Twitch. The other thing too with the community page is we want to be able to use it to grow the community because we have such a fantastic community. So what we're going to be doing after these community events, we have been in the past picking random members and throwing these raids post community events at members within the community. But because we want to use it to grow, we want to use it to show like the reason that we started this community was to support small streamers. And we want to be able to continue to do that in like a fun and exciting way. And we know that raids are like one of the best ways to do it. So from now on, we're going to be taking the community page raids after community events outside of the community, unless we are able to raid our featured member. We just think that featured member has like and we want to get your opinions on this. I also want to leave this open. We want to get your opinions on this because it's an idea. So I'm saying that I said it as like a hard and fast thing. We want to know if you think that's a good idea to like take our raids outside of the community so we can give other small streamers who aren't in the community like a taste of what Twitch Crew is. And then the featured member, like I said, we haven't put enough emphasis on it. Really, it's been a really cool thing as we've been smaller, just because we've been able to like show the featured member a lot of love when they do have the title for the week. But we're finding that like the bigger and bigger that we get, it's harder for people to find time to drop into that stream and like figure out who the featured member is. So we want to make sure that we're showing that. So if featured members on after our community events, we're going to be dropping them some fatty raids as well. Crew Talk, this is a big one for us as well. It's Mars and Eddie's baby, so they want to make sure that they're using it for what they wanted to. And it was also a showcase. It was supposed to be a showcase of members. So we haven't been quite as active as reaching out to members as we wanted to be. or we want to be moving forward to get more members in the community, like our beautiful guest here, Splice Haven. We're going to be reaching out to you guys. We want you guys to be reaching out to us and saying like, hey, I got this idea for a topic. Like, that's incredible. If you come to us with a topic, if you guys just come to us and say, hey, I want to be on Crew Talk, we'll figure out something. Like, we'll figure out something to get our members on there. We want to make sure that everybody's getting exposed through the community and through the community page as much as possible. Got a special announcement coming up. We're still working on it, but we are working on getting someone with a little bit of clout up into the Crew Talk to give us some advice on growing and networking and building streams and stuff. So just a little bit of foreshadowing there. We're not going to drop any names. We're not going to let anybody know who it is, but we are working on a special guest spot from outside of the community.
Super exciting.
Very exciting. Super exciting.
Clout.
Tournament.
Clout's just a fun
Definitely stoked.
It's a strong word.
Yeah,
Very strong
clout.
word.
It's like one of my favorite
Full of
words
knowledge.
at this point because I have none of it. Okay.
But you do have honesty.
Yeah. Just very much. I try to be. Tournaments. We've had a lot of debate about tournaments, like within the mod team, outside of the mod team. So we got to figure out the fair sign up structure and implementation of teams. We're working on it. And we're working on possibly a relationship with another community who hosts events and like leagues. But they might be able to take on our tournaments with the casting. It's just going to be able to make it a little bit easier and more fun for us because they do have stuff in place to keep it fair, to keep it like even between players and stuff like that. And we've stumbled over this since the first tournament. We have been talking about how to keep it fair and how to keep it equal between the community members and new members and stuff like that. And we haven't come up with a very solid answer to how to do that. So we're looking outside of the community for other help to kind of push that along and keep the tournaments going, keep them fun and amazing and growing the community, stuff like that. So if you guys have questions about tournaments, shoot them into the community suggestions. I'll be patrolling that like a lot moving up. Also, we're going to be introducing caster roles soon. I'm not exactly sure when, but we're going to try to be giving out roles to people that are interested in casting. And that way we have a pool of casters to pull from. When we do want to have these tournaments, we do get a lot of hype around like when we ask for a caster, but oftentimes that falls off after the first or second cast. And it's hard to keep people coming back to cast because they want to play in the tournaments, which makes sense. It's super duper fun. But we want to be able to draw on multiple people, multiple members, be able to get people on different onto the stream, onto the page. Like I said, we're trying to figure out how to showcase you guys as much as possible and get you guys onto the community page and out in front of everybody else like more and more often.
Can I add something real quick?
Yes, please.
Also, if there is any kind of tournament that you are interested in doing, reach out to literally any of the mods and we will try and figure out how we can make it work for you guys. I know there's a lot of interest between a CSGO tournament. I'm not a very big, well-versed person in CSGO, but I have been talking to a couple of you guys about seeing how we can get a fair and fun tournament for the ones that are interested. So if there's ever a tournament that you feel that you would like to have and would like to help, us plan it, just feel free to reach out. Like we're not against anything. So
For sure.
We'll try and make it work for you guys.
I see Jono in the chat. I'm up in the air about raids. On one hand, yes, because it may draw people in, but on the other hand, no, because raids were our idea and it's our community, so we want to keep it in the house. Like I totally understand that. Our biggest issue is it gets a little bit. There's a little bit of jealousy involved when somebody gets a raid of 25 viewers and there's 500 other members that aren't getting those. And it's how do you decide who it is, who's the most active, who's the this. That's why we want to keep it to featured members and then outside of the community, because there's no room for people to be like, I haven't got a raid ever.
We can't keep track of that sort of thing. There's
we
no
could
way
rate.
we can have a
There's
list.
too many views.
Yeah, there's too many
We got a
views.
list of
Way too
500
many people.
members. We got so it's just not.
There's a lot of work involved with that, Jono. So I totally get it. I totally understand. Believe me, we just had an hour conversation about honestly this whole page and how do we use it for you guys the best. Like how do we showcase the shit out of you guys, and then how do we keep it fair and unbiased and and if we did keep it in the community, we'd have to have so much, like the longest algorithm known to man to figure out who's been chatting the most this week and who needs the most members and who's holding viewers and who's not holding viewers. And we want to make sure that like there's no room for for people to feel that way. It sucks because we wish that we could just drop everything within community, but there's also that sort of thought of it of it's impossible. There's just too many people. Too much love to go around. Plus, we're doing the actually, it's a great point to bring up. We are doing the raiders role. We got that installed. We got raid commanders, setting up at least 2, maybe 3 daily raids that go inside of community. If you guys want to be a part of those raids, it's a great way it's our newest way to support our members. Get the raider role. Jump in on the community page when they're doing a raid. They say it at Raiders. We're doing a raid. You come into the page. We go into a fatty Twitch crew community raid to somebody random. The raid commanders have already been told that it needs to be a random choice. It can't be the same person because we could raid twice a day to do people and go for a year and a half and not hit the same person twice. So they have plenty.
And they're keeping track of that stuff too. So
yep. And so we have some people, we've delegated a little bit of responsibility in that aspect to the raid commanders. So definitely go find that raider role in the welcome desk, like it, emoticon it so you get the role. And then let's go raid. Let's go raid. Do some scouting on someone, may communicate, let them know we may raid you sometimes this week, because if we just raid them, be happy about our name, may not get out there, but taking the stream and letting it know. It's a good point, Luchamite. Actually, I'm going to copy and paste this. Yep, I'm going to copy and paste this into my notes so I can keep it on deck. Bada bing. Thank you for that. I really appreciate the thoughts. So let's see, tournaments. Last thing here, community suggestions. I haven't put out the announcement quite yet, but we're so high tech and so advanced in the digital realm and world that we made this freaking super sick. It's so in depth and detailed and beautiful. Mad props to Mars. We did a Google form. It's going to be confidential. It's going to be anonymous.
All of my forms.
And we're going to give you the chance to rate the mods, rate the community, rate the tournaments or events. I don't remember the exact 3 right now off the top of my head. I guess I could pull it up.
The biggest points I think were the tournaments, the crew talk, and the mods.
That's right, the mods, the crew talk,
and then anything that they wanted to add on top of that, I think.
Yep, and then there is a suggestion form down at like an open text field down at the bottom where you can just throw in any suggestion that you want. Each one of the main points, excuse me, that we ask about also has text fields, so you can rip us up. We want to know when we're fucking up. Mm-hmm. We want to know when we're messing up. We want to know when we're like that right there, Bandane. We want to know.
I thought it was gonna be me, dude. I thought it was.
It was totally me. We want to know, but we want to know. We want to know when we're human. We want to know when we're.
God, I felt so good about this too, and you fucked it up.
Now we're just gloss over it. Bombs.
I was gonna try to gloss over it. All right.
But listen, what he's trying to say is the point is we want to be better. We understand that this isn't nothing is perfect here. I mean, this thing blew up. We're all here because we love this community. We want what's best for it. So we're trying to give you guys a line of communication where you feel like you can give us constructive criticism, that we can use to help to continue to make this, the best place for everybody. So,
and like I said, it's anonymous, so we're not going to know we have no idea who is going to be making these suggestions and these comments. We're obviously going to monitor that because we talked about when you pull your name out of something, when you get to take your name away from a commenter suggestion, you can get pretty nasty or trolly or whatever it is. So we're going to be monitoring it. We ask that you guys don't abuse it. I'm going to say it in the post that will link that form. We're going to be taking it super seriously. So we ask that you guys do too. Use it responsibly. But we appreciate all the suggestions. We're gonna be make sure that we're more active in terms of getting you guys involved and getting your suggestions and ideas at least into the rotation of discussion so that we can figure out how best to utilize your guys' ideas. And that's all I got for community stuff, man. Community news.
I think also on top of the anonymous form, don't feel like you guys can't use the community suggestions form channel anymore either, just because again, some people are super comfortable and have really strong-headed personalities where they just want to make their suggestion known to everybody, and that's fine. And some people, and those are great because then we can at least have an open community discussion about them. But there's also those people that might not feel comfortable coming out to any of the mods or just making their idea known. So that's what the forum is really there for. Is if you really just don't feel comfortable talking to either the community or really any of us, that form's really for you. But don't feel like you guys can't use the community suggestions form anymore, and don't feel like you can't reach out to any of the mods either, because literally all of us are here to help you guys. Again, we can't really do anything without hearing your guys' feedback. Otherwise, it's going to feel very mod heavy, and we're trying to get away from that because we want to hear more from you guys.
Yep. And we talk constantly. We are always talking about like the things that we have. How do we improve those? What new things can we introduce? What new things can we bring to the table that is going to help improve your guys' streams, the community involvement, getting people more active in the community, because we'd rather have a 400-person community with 200 people being active than a 900-person community where 50 people are active. So we're doing our best the whole time to figure out like, how do we involve everybody? How do we include everybody? But ultimately, when we got 7 people talking about it and there's 600 different people thinking about it, like there's so many more ideas out there that we want to be able to share. And like Mars was saying, use the community suggestions thing, because we love when we can put a name to an idea that isn't ours, right? Like when someone comes to us and is like, yo, I want to cast this, shout out Noises on the first Fortnite tournament was like, I want to cast a Fortnite tournament. Like that's the coolest thing ever. We want to be able to put your name next to it and be like, dude, look how amazing this member is that came to us and was like, wanted to do something cool for the community. And then we all made it happen together. So another big point for that.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to put your guys' name on the form. There is room for you guys to write on there. So if you're just not comfortable bringing it in front of the community, but just want to have it known that like you're the one suggesting it, like don't be afraid to drop your name in there.
We'll be
we're
confidential.
not gonna hold it against you.
For sure. We'll be as confidential as you guys want us to be.
Because it also helps. It also helps us be able to open up the conversation if we had any questions back for you guys. If you wanted it to be an open dialogue, that way we can at least reach out to you. So don't be afraid to drop your name either.
Absolutely.
So.
And once again, feel free to message any of us on any of the mods here. I know some of you might feel you might actually be better friends with one or the other, but honestly, if you're going to bring it to one of us, we're all going to end up discussing it anyway, because I mean, we take a group think approach. So feel free to honestly message any of us. I'm the kind of person, even if I don't get back to it right away, I will get back to you at some point. Mostly because it's my big pet peeve when people don't get back to me. So as such, my duty is to always get back to you. I can probably speak for everyone else here, both mod and not mod. You know, Jeff's included.
For sure.
So,
yeah, I mean, I know Jeff is incredibly. Most 99.9% of our members that you see in the chat, that you see in the Gen chat, like they're the most supportive people that you're going to meet on the internet.
If we don't have an answer for something, we usually find someone who has the answer for you.
We know people that have the answer. They're in house. We keep stuff in house. So.
So yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad to be in that house. Thank you.
Yeah. We're happy to have you, dude. It'd be a sad place without you. Less slithery place without you.
Less slithery.
You just took a really beautiful thing and turned it ugly. Thank you.
That was just
so organic. Though.
Okay, so we'll end with a couple announcements here. Then, as always, any of the last minute Q&A, any last things you guys wanted to shoot towards us that you had questions about or anything like that. Our next tournament is Rocket League. Is that right?
I believe it's going to be Rocket League. I have to confirm, so I will let you guys know. I have to make sure I know what we're doing moving forward with that. But I will have a tournament soon for you guys.
Okay.
But I'll make an announcement. And I will
stay tuned with that. Mars, as always, the tournament queen will be on it. One little thing. Tomorrow is Community Movie Night. We have a double feature in store, John Wick Chapters 1 and 2. I would very much like, if you guys have not seen this, to attend. If you have, please do. Rabbit Nights are awesome. We just get in there and then we're watching, and we have our microphones off, but everyone's cameras on because it's good to see everyone's reactions, and we're joking and chatting the whole time. It's honestly a lot of fun. We've got a pretty dedicated contingent that shows up for those, but we're always welcome to have more. That starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once again, that'll be John Wick Volumes 1 and 2. Would love to have you. So.
Jono asked, what if a mod puts a link in the chat, but it says it's deleted in the mod's channel, but not the streamer's channel? What do you do in that case, if that makes sense?
Oh, that's a layered one.
Are you
just a little bit?
Are you referencing if someone posts a link in chat and it gets deleted, but like I could still see it because I'm the streamer? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
I'm going to assume that's what you meant.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Confirmation. The eagle has landed.
okay, I was really good at
That was so
deducing
tense.
that.
That was
so-
like
That was
super
real
tense. We're
quiet
just
for a minute.
staring.
I was like really trying to deduce that. I'm just like I think I know what you mean. It really depends on the streamer. If it's a link, if like as the streamer, if you see the link and the link looks trolly, like if it's something that you clearly know is not going to be appropriate, or if you know that it's like a Rickroll link and you're just gonna get shit on, you know. But you know, I would just use your best judgment. If you don't know what the link is, I wouldn't post it. If you want to, this is completely on you. If you want to go to like a BRB screen and check out the link yourself before you show the rest of your stream, that's fine too. Again, it's your stream. You really have the license to do whatever the heck you want. But again, like I would just be wary of people posting links. If it's not from someone you don't trust, I would just leave it be and then come back to it at like either a later time or never. But if it's like someone you trust, like say Eddie drops something in your stream, like you know that Eddie's not going to drop anything super trolly in your stream. So like if you wanted to click on that, by all means. But
whose stream are we talking about? Is this Jono's stream?
Well, if it's Jono's stream, it's always going to be trolly because sorry, Jono, you troll everybody.
As long as it's not Jono's stream, then
but no, I think it's definitely a self-preferencing. Like if you feel comfortable clicking on it because it's from someone you trust, by all means, click on it. If you don't know what it is, I would just pretend you don't see it. Honestly, like they don't know what you can see and what you can't see. You get to say like, "Oh, it's not showing up for me." Oops.
Be a snack.
Yeah, they're never gonna know. They're never gonna know. But I would definitely try and keep it to something that you trust. And again, if you want to check it out on your own time, check it out on your own time.
I think you can whitelist links too. Like I don't let links fly on my channel unless it's twitch.tv/clips. I think. Like you know what I mean. Like I
let them link my website about it.
Yeah, or something else that you could do is if they're in your Discord, just be like, hey, send it to me in a DM and I'll look at it later. Or sometimes even in a DM on Discord, like when they send you the link, the actual video will pop up anyway. So you'll know what it is if they send it to you through Discord.
There
so
you
like
go.
that helps too.
That's a good clarification. Yeah, I do, but it's Joker Lover stream. If it's someone else's stream, dude, ask them. Be like, or you know, see if you. I wouldn't follow links. I wouldn't follow random links from random people.
Mm-hmm.
It's always okay to shoot a message to, you know, chat in and say, hey, Joker, like, are you cool with this person? You know what I mean? Like, do you know this person? Are they okay? Because you can't be perfect 100% of the time. You might as well get the king of the castles okay before you.
And a good rule of thumb is also just like if the streamer isn't asking for a link and you see a link posted, don't promote the link. And again, really the only links that should be posted in people's chats are their clips, unless they ask for something otherwise. And if you really, really want to like link something, ask permission of the streamer first, or just send it to them in Discord. Again, really the only links that should be posted are your Twitch clips, because again, you don't really want to take away from their stream by posting some random YouTube video or what have you. Again, always be respectful of the streamer. And again, if it's just something that you don't trust, then don't trust it. If your gut is telling you no, don't make your body say yes. Yes, I just.
All right. All right.
Okay.
I did.
All right. Okay.
I did.
But my body's telling me yes. Sorry.
Telling me yes. My mind's telling me no.
And yeah.
Well, now that I made that really awkward.
We did touch on that earlier, Huggy. Basically, when it comes to picking the mods, everyone's situation's different.
I'm just kidding. It wasn't that bad.
You just kind of need what are you going for in your stream. Most likely you're going to want someone, one, who knows how to mod, for one. Be that in Twitch or in your Discord, and two, someone who's going to be there. So, it kind of depends. You could always go back and watch the VOD and check that part of it out. So, Train is locked in right now. I saw Scott.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. It's not.
Oh no! You made it a thing.
I
you
did.
Made it a thing.
I'm so sorry.
You did it.
I'm not sorry. Clementine is totally to blame. I'm so sorry.
The Brady Bunch is amazing.
But yeah, if you guys don't have any more questions, if you guys have anything else to add, are you guys good?
I think I mentioned everything. You know, I was supposed to say, had to say. I mean, hell, I could keep talking, but I mean, I think we've come to the end of this little.
Well, Eddie, if you want to do the, you know, the things, I have the raid ready.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So once again, thanks for tuning in for Crew Talk, the August 11th edition. This is the 5th show we've done. You guys have shown amazing support. We love you all. I don't know if we have someone in charge in terms of the raid. Oh, boom. There it goes. New York Gamer. So
our featured member, New York Gamer. We are going to go raid him and
let's
show him all of the love, all of the hype
right.
emotes, all of the exclamation points,
all of the things.
Everything.
All the things. All the cats. Everybody, yeah.
Give a special thanks to Splice.
Of course.
I was Eddie Nines. He was Train. She was Mars Echelon. He was Splice Haven. This is a
Show us
true
red light.
production.
Yourselves.
We love
Five
you.
Splicey Heaven.
And thank you for those bits, Snowcapped.
Thanks for the biddies.
Oh!